What is up, everybody, and welcome to Blue Otter League Otter Talk for the Platinum League. Tonight, we are starting our playoffs here as we get ready to see what teams are going to be advancing into the second round. It's going to be a great series tonight that we got coming on the stream later. It's going to be a banger. But before we get into all that, we got a few guests with us tonight from our playoff teams here. I got Noble Bark, I got Webb, my bad, and Derisen. So why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves, talk a bit.
Oh, dude, it's Noble Park, dude. Let's fucking go.
What's going on? Derisen here from Conduit Rev. Ready to talk some smack?
Web guys, that's the pronunciation. Web, not Weeb. To all the people who have streamed my games out there and mispronounced my name, thank you.
All right, thank you guys for joining me tonight. Good to see some new faces on here, some people who haven't been here, some teams haven't been represented yet on Otter Talks, so it's going to be a lot of fun tonight. But, let's go look at our predictions for tonight for our matchups coming up for this week and the confirmed matchups that we have for next week. So we're going to be doing this a little bit on the fly. First matchup we got is SG versus AIE. I know I predicted SG. I'm not sure if the predictions line up for you guys. Are they correct?
Hell no. AIE clears.
Yo, dude, I said we win over monkeys. Don't worry, doing me wrong.
All right, awesome. So a little bit of production issue, but we'll start with the first matchup. We got SG Proton versus AIE. It's going to be a stream match tonight. Derisen, you said AIE clears SG. Is that true, or are you just saying that?
I think there's a little bit of truth to it. I'll be honest, it is a hot take. I kind of threw that down as weird stuff can happen in playoffs. This is kind of my shot at maybe something weird happening. I think everybody thinks SG will win. I think it could easily happen, but I don't know. I've played them a couple times. I know some of their players. I think they can falter on some of their spots. So if they play as a team, they definitely can win. But if Alf thinks he can solo 1v9, they don't win.
Yeah, so I've been the AIE fan since week 3, since I started writing content here, and I will always be backing these boys, but SG has definitely stepped over the past few weeks and kind of looking like the team a lot of people expected to see at the start of the season. And I think if they play in that form, it's going to be really hard for AIE, but the way this team has grown over the split and everything, I think it's going to be close. I predicted 3-2, so it's definitely going to be interesting. But then we're going to move to the other side of the bracket where we got Monkey Business versus Atomic Desperados. And since we got the jungler for Atomic Desperados, here we got Mr. Webb himself. You said you predicted you guys to win over them?
That's right.
All right.
No,
so
we smashed their counterparts last week, so I think it's a pretty obvious 3-0 here. I think I said that earlier. I don't actually think that either of these teams from that org are going to go far in playoffs, so we'll beat them quick, make quick work of them, and then on to what's the team after that? Conduit. They slapped us around last week, but honestly, it was a bad week figuring out some roster things. We got shaky practice. We don't ever play together, so I think we'll be good. We're gonna get Conduit out of the playoffs for all of you guys.
Damn, some bold predictions here, saying a quick 3-0 over the Monkey Business.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I think that's kind of hard to see. We have everybody else here saying Monkey Business is going to get it. I mean, this team is good. It's well-known names and everything, and they've been playing well the last few weeks. Not stellar, but I think it's more in their favor due to you guys going through a few roster changes and everything like that. You guys did look good on the stream last week. I got to cast that. It looked really nice for you guys, but I'm curious how it's going to look in a best of 5. But then,
can I say one more thing real quick?
Yeah.
So I gotta say one more thing. You mentioned big names on this monkey team. I haven't heard any of them. One big name I have heard is Kissimmee Finney. You've heard of this guy, I think. He's got some good stuff cooking for tonight. These guys are gonna get 3 out.
I think if you don't know about the big name Fen Daddy, you better fucking look out. He's gonna run you guys down.
Yeah,
we'll see about that.
You got Fen Daddy, Grim Defier, Fox Stepro, Batman. These guys have been playing together for a little while, but I'm curious, you already went on to your next matchup saying you guys are gonna win and you're gonna beat Conduit. Derisen, some people call you Fraud Risen around here. Are you guys gonna get wiped by Atomic Desperados if they get there?
Yeah. On God, they are.
He's right, bro. We're washed.
Yeah.
Swain's banned for playoffs.
Cleared.
We're fucked.
Yeah, exactly. You guys don't have your champs. Good luck. Our rosters have changed. Finney doesn't know how to jungle. You can't invade me like you did Finney, okay? I'll clap the fuck at you guys.
All right.
All right.
We'll see.
let's move on to looking forward at next week's matchups that are already confirmed. For the first side, we have Misery against Great White. We all predicted Misery to get here and get the win. I don't think it's gonna be close. Looking at these teams on paper, Misery kind of looking like the third best team in the league and looking to be the team that can cause an upset of Conduit or Dorado. Noble, what are your thoughts on this Misery roster?
So I thought that this could be either close or not close at all. Like, this is either going to be a 3-2 banger or a fucking shutout. And I don't know. Like, Great White has had, like, some pristine moments. Like, they took Dorado to almost 40-minute games, both of their games, right? And then they also get 2-0'd randomly. So I really don't know what Great White's going to show up. But I think the average Misery performance is going to outperform the average Great White performance. I have Misery edging out Great White here.
Yeah, I mean, I think the roster changes of Great White are actually going to be what's going to do them over in the end. Last week they changed junglers, and now they have Slappy Weird Stepbro playing mid lane, and I think he's going to get exposed in that series. Like,
Yep.
Wall Street has been cooking people who are like below him skill level wise, and if you're playing a role swap jungler into mid lane, I think Wall Street is just going to have a field day against this team. Him and Narva just like kind of the solo lane gods right now, like stat wise. Like, yes, they have more losses on paper, but these guys have just been slapping people in matchups that are worse than them, and I don't think that's gonna change.
If you are watching that series, pay attention to mid lane for the first 6 to 7 minutes and then flip off because it's going to be washed, bro. Wall Street is good. They're the only team to take a game off of Revelation, or to take the series from us. We did do a little bit of memeing, but genuinely,
There's a little bit of memeing.
Little bit, but genuinely, Wall Street diffed me in that series, and I think they clear easy.
Yeah, I mean, I wrote my content for this week. It hasn't been put up yet, but I literally wrote in the content, I said, weird meta read out of Conduit this week. I wish you guys actually tried so I could write something fun about this series. But, the Graves bottom lane didn't work wonders for me last week that you guys tried to pull out. I'm curious what your meta read
I did
is.
not see that. That's crazy.
It would have worked if I wasn't playing on their team.
Yeah, yeah. I like how Conduit picked meme champs last week and Durzin played his maids and ran it down. It was kind of great to see.
Yep. Don't ban my champs. I suck. What can I say?
Yeah. I mean, we'll see how much you suck in the next round of playoffs since you guys do have the bye here. But going into the last matchup that we have here, it looks like we got IG, Monkey Champagne. We have IGs for 3 people. Who is the sole Monkey Champagne?
I am a Monkey Champagne believer.
All right, so why are you a Champagne believer here?
Before the Misery series, I think Champagne was our toughest series of this split. I believe in their players. I think if they play around their players that they should be playing around and the objectives that they should be playing around, they can clear any team, even us. I think they are good. I think people are sleeping on Champagne, and in my predictions, they're the only team in playoffs that I have taking a game from Revelation. So,
all right, fair enough. IG player himself, Noble.
Oh, dude, I saw, dude. Let's go.
What are your thoughts on this series? How do you guys think you're gonna beat the Monkey Champagne roster here?
All right, what? Monkey Champagne has Steel Fan, Camry, Nightmare, Barolo, and Penguin, right?
Yeah.
So Penguin, former IG, dope as fuck person. Steel Fan, I'm a Steel Fan. That guy is cool as shit. I don't know Barolo, I don't know Nightmare, I don't know Camry. But you guys think Azure is one of the higher performing mid laners in the league, right? At least the first couple weeks. If we're gonna quote Alf here, someone in IG taught TM, Mr. Azure X Fire here, how to mid lane back in the day. So that's me and Sybil. I'm back in mid lane. I'm a little rusty, but I'm gonna dog walk this dude. Easy, done. Also, Alf, you're dodging me in the Yon Cass, exhibition match. I challenge you to. Come on, we're all waiting.
Okay, Grandpa, it's time to go back to bed.
Yeah.
I got too many rocks to eat.
Look, I know I predicted IG to win this one, but I think saying you're gonna gap Nightmare is
That's
kind
crazy.
of crazy to
Nope.
say.
Nightmare can
Don't
stand
you
up
know?
against any
Look,
mid
there-
in
look,
this league.
look,
I have
Nightmare,
some coach
Nightmare
for him,
hit,
by the way.
Nightmare hit Diamond playing a Riven in season 2, dude. Come on, how do you beat that?
Let me just give you guys some cope, okay? When we just played against Monkeys, all right, Nightmare, I have to say he was solid. But Billy, I was surprised with his performance mid lane against this guy, all right? He held his own. He won lane some games. Like, not too much jungle attention mid. So I think if you're the true master, you should be able to at least pull off a couple good lanes against this guy in a 5-game series.
I mean, like-
Darius, you and I scrim tonight, right? You know, you're not mid lane for the first game. You know, you're AD carry, but game 2, you're gonna get to see what I'm talking
excited.
about.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, the big thing with Nightmare is he's never the type of middle laner to stand out on paper and like kind of solo carry a game. He's just not gonna lose lane. Like I know he went even with Billy in that game. It was the side lane where Billy just started going crazy, except for game 2 where Billy kind of got beat the shit out of in laning phase.
He did a little bit, but
Yeah.
I more so say because it was such a big disparity between the two, right? With how good we say Nightmare is, and I'll give him credit, he's a good mid laner, but we had a lane swap AD carry go mid, and he could have done better. I'll say for Nightmare,
I think it's important to note what Chong's saying though. Like I kind of draw a little bit of comparisons from how I play to Nick Nightmare a little bit. Not saying I'm better or as good or anything, but he plays for team. He doesn't lose lane, and that goes a long way in this elo. When in mid, you don't necessarily always have to be winning lane to win a game.
I think the jungle matchup is huge, though.
Yeah, agree.
I think that's huge.
I mean, besides that, I think IG's bot lane just kind of clears the Champagne bot lane. Like, I don't know, Barolo, I'm pretty sure is a role swap support to AD carry for the split, and then they got Pink Penguin playing support. Let this guy's Taric through. He doesn't win on it. Taric, easy champ to play. Dude can't seem to get wins on it. I remember back to Titan game 5 where he ended up losing with Yomi and Alf, and now he lost on Taric again this last week. But definitely, I think IG and Monkey is like the closest matchup for round 2. Just looking at teams on paper, I think it'll be closer than like the Misery one or whoever Dorado and Conduit play against. So I think that's definitely the one that should be streamed and should be watched. It's definitely going to be a fun one. But let's talk about who could end up playing Dorado and, Conduit tonight, looking closer at the matchups we have. Let's start with SG and AIE. So we're split here on the desk, but I'm curious, what we think AIE can do to be able to beat this SG team. And I'm going to start with Noble here. Why do you think AIE, or what are they going to do to beat SG tonight?
Okay, so you think why that they can, or what they're going to do? Like
Either
what
way,
I think about this team can do it?
Yeah, what about them do you think can get the win over this SG team?
So Darizin, I don't know how you pronounce it, Mr. Man. I'm sorry, I apologize.
No, it's all good. First time was right.
Darizin?
Yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned how you guys did a little bit of incy-wincy trolling last week, just a tad bit, right?
Yep.
IG, perhaps, did a little bit of a silly willy the week we played Lotus. We got fucking 2-0'd by Lotus. But AIE then comes back this last week and, takes a win over Lotus. Lotus isn't a bad team, okay? They're decent, right? So I think that whatever fundamentos, if we're going to quote Alois here, fundamentos that is going on in the AIE camp, they're going to bring that this week. And I think they're gonna diff the Proton team. I think they're gonna edge it out just a little bit. So I'm not gonna go into the specifics of what I think is gonna happen, but I think AIE takes this one.
Okay, all right. And Darizin, you're on the same page here. Do you agree with what Noble said, or do you have a different idea on why they're gonna get it?
I think some of what he's saying is definitely true. For me, I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and say that I've watched them closely. I don't really know them that well, but SG I know a little bit. And in my opinion, if they want to win, they need to play through bot lane. That's if they get their bot lane ahead, I think they have the best chance of clearing the series that way. But
who's their ADC again?
Devil's alter ego. He, I think, is. I tried to check the stats on this. I think he's one of the only players to drop a pentakill this season.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Was it a real pentakill or like end of the game Nexus pentakill?
It was a real one that ended up being to win the game. But yeah,
Okay.
he did get the pentakill. And also in that series that I did cast, their top laner Kiwi Slap also almost got a pentakill on Gnar, and he got it KS'd away from him in game 1.
Yeah, I really think if they want to win, they got to look for neutralizing solo lanes and play for getting bot ahead. I think if they can do that, they're going to be in the best chance to actually win this series.
All right. And then let's take an approach and look at the other side of this. I voted for SG, and Webb did as well. So
Yes,
Webb,
sir.
how is SG going to get this over AIE tonight?
See, I am a member of the Church of Alphiet, if that's how you say his name.
Alpha 8.
Alpha
I think.
8.
I just
Alpha
call him
8?
Alf. I'm not trying to disrespect him, man. He's Portuguese. I don't know how to say his last name.
Sorry, buddy. I love the Portuguese people. I like you guys' chicken. Anyway, I am a member of the church. I think he's a great mid laner. I think they're gonna win through him, despite what everyone says about all the bot lane talk this game. I think it's gonna be a series that's heavily revolving around mid jungle, kind of similar to, probably a lot of the playoff series that might go down in Plat here. But yeah, no, I do think Alf is just gonna run away with it. I think he's the better mid laner.
Yeah, I mean, I voted for SG. I think it's going to be close. I agree with both points. AIE has to get Devil's Alter Ego ahead to have a chance to win this one. He is basically their sole carry, besides like Kiwi Slap. And what Webb said about Alf being like having to carry, I kind of agree with it. I played with Alf and Yomi. Alf is more of a mood maker. If this man tilts, he kind of like can kill comms. We had to call him Monk Mental Alf last season to make him fix up stuff. But Yomi is the carry of this team. Like, you get Yomi ahead, you're probably gonna win the game. But Alf is like that secondary carry.
I think he's a very good team fighter. I think he brings
Yeah,
a lot
I
to the
love
team,
I
and I
think
think
Alf-
he's a very unsung hero for that team.
Yeah, he is. Alf is. I didn't get to write in my content because I ran out of time. But Alf is the best team fighting mid laner on these control mages. His spacing is phenomenal.
It's really
He's
good,
very
yeah.
for a plat player. He's very good. I see Chai in chat trying to
Yeah,
talk
I
about
was-
Daddy Dobbs.
I was gonna bring it up because we can't skip over. As much as
No,
I'm
so-
voting for the AIE camp, Dobbs is a fucking rock.
I was
in
gonna
the
I was
top
gonna
lane,
get
dude.
there because like the thing with this SG team is if they're in form, they can have Dobbs carry a game on like his known champs like Camille or something like that, but he can also just play these tanks like Ornn or Malphite.
He's
or-
versatile. He's
he
versatile.
can do anything for this team, and if this SG team is in form, that is so hard to go into in a 5-game series. Just because even if like you ban out Yomi, you still got to worry about Dobbs on the other hand. But I genuinely think more than it coming down to like Dobbs being a carry or Yomi being a carry, I think it actually comes down to the mid jungle for both these teams. I think it's Vezu and Alf who need to get their team ahead by playing the map correctly against. Oh my god, who's on? I'm trying to remember.
You got
those, like,
Pals
Ego.
and Stormtech.
Yeah, Stormtech and Pals. Pals is really good. Like he's definitely one of the more underrated mid laners. This guy's been growing over the season, and Stormtech can be a little iffy, but if they're both on form, they have to be able to contest the 2v2 of mid jungle for SG to have a chance in this one. It's definitely going to be great.
I do think SG's jungle is really good. We did actually scrim against them not too long ago, and it was an interesting scrim for sure, to say the least. I don't think SG had their proper roster. They had Grim Defer playing, or whatever you guys said that guy's name is. Don't want to be botching people's names.
Grim
Grim Defier, yes. He popped off. He was great that game actually. So it goes in with what you were saying about him being a pretty good ADC. But yeah, they were still a great team, and their jungle mid were really, really good. They had some good picks. So we'll see what's going to get banned against them by AEI.
Yeah, I mean, I do think the jungle for SG Proton Vezu, he might be my biggest question mark when it comes to fearless drafts or best of 5. I know this guy for playing like one champion, so I'm curious what other picks he's been working on and cooking up. I don't really know his comp history. I just know him as the owner of SG, so I'm curious how he's going to look in fearless best of 5. But, we brought up Grim Defier, so it's a good segue into our next matchup of Monkey Business and Atomic Desperados. We got 3 Monkey Business voters and Atomic Desperados, so let's just go right back to the Atomic Desperado voter, Webb, yourself. Why, like, what specifically you guys going to be looking to do to shake this Monkey Business team? You
So
don't
I'm
have to go
obvi-
into super specific.
Yeah. Obviously, I'm not really gonna go into any detail at all. Really, that's gonna screw us over for tonight. We definitely got some picks cooking. I don't think. Well, Fearless is gonna, play a factor with all the champs ban and whatnot. But I think we have pretty good pools to take us far. I think we are a very, very good team fighting team. So I think that that's a huge advantage for us, right? So I think as long as draft is going the way we want it to, I think you guys may end up being all incorrect with your predictions. I'm really liking our chances for today. Yeah, I mean, it really depends on how I think Monkey's prep went too, but really confident with our picks for tonight and how we've been playing lately.
All right. I mean, I did Cassie series last week. Finney kind of looked like prime Jackie Love last week.
Finney is on
he
his
was
roll.
popping off last week.
It's a huge thing. Everyone is in the correct role. I think we've really gotten to a solid spot right now. Finney's comfortable. Billy's comfortable mid. I played a ton of jungle. I've been playing for a really long time. Comfortable with jungle. I have some bans that are just being forced out every game because we have some champs that just can't be let through. So I think that's a big benefit too with our lane swap or role swaps again. That changes draft for us a lot. Makes us a lot better of a team just from that.
All right. I think the series is close. It's going to be close on paper, but Bark, what were you going to say there?
I think if Fenbach is willing to pick the picks he knows he can pick, this isn't going to be as close as Webb thinks it's going to be. I think that
Fenbach is their jungler?
Top laner.
No, top laner.
Oh, they're top laner. Okay.
Fenbach self-imposes himself into certain pockets when he has other pockets to explore. And I would love to see other aspects of his play come out.
I don't think this series just revolves around him, though. I agree with what you're saying, and I believe in Fendaddy. He's on my team in Titan. I know what he can do. But I think, to be honest, Webb saying our matchup, Revelation versus Desperados the other week, being maybe not their ideal scenario, could change things for me. Maybe it will be closer than what I think. Because, to be honest, after that series, I didn't have much, no respect, but I was like, I thought it was going to be more difficult. But if you're that confident, maybe it will be close. And I think draft strategy, if it is close, is going to, in a best of 5 fearless, that's going to be what takes it.
It does play a huge factor. I think people are forgetting a little bit about that, sleeping on it a little. Even if you have, a couple of champs you can play really, really well, it's like they're gone. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I just played in a full 5-game series for BOL last night. Getting to game 4 is even crazy because you're just down to 3 bans then. So it's like, what have we been banning away in phase 2 that we might need to move to phase 1 now? And then also, like, Red side, I feel like is so much stronger in that scenario just because you're able to respond to picks sooner than later and like start taking away more prio picks in a way, just because you immediately go from R3 to R4. And then if it ever gets to game 5, the draft just becomes ridiculous to see it unfold. Like, stuff you've been banning all night is just available. Like, it comes with different draft techs. Like, you might be banning away one trick on one side, and then if you get to the other side, you leave it up, make the enemy team ban it, or you pick it away. It becomes such an interesting dichotomy of how you play out draft as a team and how you try to push like little advantages in pick and ban to go into your favor. And it's definitely gonna be interesting to see it develop. But I think my kind of biggest like highlight of this match is actually kind of in the bot side of the map with Monkey's bot lane against your guys' bot lane, with Finney and Shinobi against Grim and Fox. Fox and Grim have been playing together for a while now. They're on Dynasty last season. They've been playing around in some other leagues together. I've been seeing them. They're a strong 2v2, but it's also, you guys showed last week that Finney and Shinobi are a strong 2v2. I think it's going to be close, and it's kind of going to be the mood maker and pinpoint for this match. I don't know if anyone disagrees with that.
I think you're right. I think bot lane is like super important this series, and I think our pickup of Shinobi's pretty cracked. He's not just in the 2v2, he plays like a huge role in our team just across the board, after laning phase, team fighting, warding, right, getting set up for objectives. I think he's really good. So I think he brings a lot more than just laning, but I think he's pretty good at that too. He's got some unique picks he's willing to kind of throw down, so it helps a lot.
Yeah, anyone else want to highlight any matchups on the map? I think mid lane is also going to be an interesting one with Billy versus Giraffe Rider Leo. I think that's going to be a very interesting matchup. I don't know how much you know about either of these guys, but since you are the mid laner here, what are your thoughts on them?
Yeah, I was going to say I know almost nothing about these two. But I know of Billy a little bit. I don't know anything about Monkey's mid laner, but I personally think in a series like this, especially in the meta right now, mid lane's probably going to be more of just what's the jungler doing on both teams, and how is your mid laner interacting with that? Because IMO mid lane's not a 1v1 anymore; it's a 2v2,
Or
and it has been
3v3.
for a little while. Yeah, I think it just is. So
Yeah, I mean, I would love to sit here and talk about every specific matchup for like 10, 15 minutes because I do think this matchup is kind of the closer one between the two of like SGAIE and Atomic and Monkeys. And I definitely think both of them are banger series, like straight up. I love Platt because like you guys just make crazy plays all the time. It's always fun to watch. It can be
wild
so
card,
tilting.
motherfucker.
I know, dude. It can be so tilting sometimes watching series like, oh, they made a good play, and then everybody just like full sprints a Baron and dies to the respawn time. It's like, all right, I will be here for another 20 minutes. But like, it's definitely gonna be interesting. And like, besides bot lane, I do think the Batman versus Web matchup is actually insane to watch because like everyone knows Batman, right?
Yeah, Batman's not
Pay
here.
pay attention to those smite battles, boys.
Yeah, Batman. Everyone knows Batman. He's a great guy. It's gonna be so much fun to watch the matchup between these teams, and you know, I'm curious to see who makes it into the second round, who ends up pulling Conduit, and who ends up pulling Dorado. I'm not sure if it's dynamic seeding or whatnot.
We're getting
you could
revenge on
Or if you
Conduit.
just stay
I
on the
hope.
same
Word
side.
from the chat: Batman isn't playing. I don't know if that's
Batman's
Oh,
not here.
yeah.
Actually, I think that's true.
Oh,
I
dude,
forgot.
I'm changing predictions. No, I still think it's gonna be Monkeys. I think it'll be closer than if Batman isn't playing. It'll definitely. I think it's now more coin flip that Batman isn't
If
playing.
we 3-0
Actually,
this week, will you vote for us to win next week against Conduit?
no.
Can we
I
make
will
that
never-
handshake
I
deal
will,
right now?
I will never
Just
vote
no.
against Conduit. I will
Just
never.
no.
I will never vote
Once
against Conduit.
we 3-0 this week, vote for us against Conduit. All right.
Never.
Because we're gonna
Never.
3-0 them too.
Never.
I hope you realize the run we're
Ban-
about to make in playoffs is crazy. You guys are
ban
ready.
Swain against us, bro. I heard it's really
Yeah,
good.
yeah. Ban Swain. Also ban Tom Kench so they can't flex it between Try and Raven. That's
Look.
actually. I'm serious. But yeah,
Monkeys is the only team that took a win against Azure X Fire's Zeri. So just saying.
Wow.
Just saying.
Isn't
I
that
know.
like the legendary first
that why-
pick Jerry I heard of?
Is that why he got? Is that why he got benched?
It's winning a fish. Bro, I wish I did Japan.
It's like, oh, you lost him, Zeri. Get to
Yeah,
the bench.
that's
Get to
it.
the bench, little bro. But yeah, no.
Oh.
Anyway, let's wrap it up here. I want to thank you guys for coming on the desk and talking about all these playoff matchups for this week and the ones we know for next week. I know 2 of you aren't playing tonight, so get your scouting info in. Look at everything that you can, and good luck to you, Webb, tonight against this Monkey team. Thank you for all who are watching. Thank you for Caddy for doing production for this, and we'll see you all next week back for Blue Otter League Otter Talk.
Welcome, welcome. We are back with round 1 wild card or play-ins, whatever you want to call it, of playoffs for the Platinum League in a best of 5 first of the season. I'm Traxon. Joining me is Chong and our producer Caddy, and we are right in pick and ban. SG Proton on the blue side, AIE Anguish on the red side. Let's kind of talk about these bans now.
I mean, the Yone ban right off the rip is pretty smart here by AIE. Alf has been spamming that champion, man. He's been playing the crap out of it. It's also still super strong. They decided to buff it again for some reason. The Amumu band away here, and the first step, Lilia first pick. I love this. This is Vezu's one trick. I was saying on Otter Talk before, I knew Vezu for playing one champion alone, and that is Lilia. And I love that he first picks this year. The confidence coming out of this team and him here. You know, it's good to see. I can't wait to talk smack about my old team and my old coach, and you know, it'll be fun tonight.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a fun one. Jarvan, the hover is the answer for AIE English, and then I'm gonna assume they probably look 80 carry here unless they go some crazy pick out of left field that we don't know about. But Jarvan, pretty solid, you know, platinum jungler right now. So
yeah, I mean, I think Jarvan is just kind of slept on all patches. He's going to do the same thing every patch, no matter what. He's going to take a red buff. He's going to walk into lane at level 2. He's going to EQ flash. He's going to burn a flash or get a kill. Like, that is what the champ is known for. He's going to do the same thing on every patch, no matter what they nerf on his damage or anything. We're seeing the potent hover and then lock-in of J4 Orianna.
yeah,
This is kind of like a match made in heaven. You put him in a Cataclysm, you get a command shockwave out, and it's kind of what everything you want out of it. And you know, highlight more specifically on this J4 pick as a former jungle main and Lilia main specifically. I love the J4 into Lilia matchup, and as a Lilia, I hate Lilia into J4. Because if you don't have flash, you're gonna get put into Cataclysm, and you're gonna have to sit there and do nothing. But
speaking of things you hate, Ziggs in the bot lane for us ADC players. You hate to see it, but that's what that's what we're looking at for SG Proton's draft. Corki mid lane, Ziggs bot. I mean, that's a lot of damage coming out of SG Proton. A lot of turret sieging as well.
And Corki did just get buffed this patch. That's something to remember. This champion's actually really strong right now with these buffs. I'm in the SG server. They made a joke before that one of these mid lane players got a win on it, and they're like, "Hey, even if he can win on this champion, Alf has to win on this champion."
Oh, there we go.
So I do like the Corki pick. I don't know how I feel about the Ziggs for Yomi. I love seeing this dude on just hard carry champions. And Ziggs doesn't speak that to me, but I'm curious if SG is going to be able to play out this poke style and, make it work for them. But, Ezreal, he's one of those other safe 80 carries. I'm calling in now. Ezreal, Ziggs, both going to take TP. They're both just going to roam around. They're going to just both TP back to the lanes all the time while supports roam the map for like 45 minutes.
Yeah, the wave clear bot lane is going to hang out. I'm interested to see what kind of AD pick SG Proton picks up in the top lane, knowing, they have to go with some AD here.
Yeah, I mean, I played with Dobbs before too. The champion that's still up and hasn't been banned away from him or picked away from him is his Camille. His Camille is actually really, really clean. I kind of know him for that champion more than anything besides like when he role swapped to play mid lane Brand. But his Camille is very good, and I'm kind of hoping he picks it out here. But I also want to talk about these bans that AIE did, really doing their homework. Sunrai, kind of like the Platinum Thresh guy. I like this ban away from him, and his rel is also really clean. Just Sunray on engaged champs is just really good, and I'm very much a fan of these bans that AIE chose to do here. And we see a Seraphine lock in. I mean, why not? I don't like Seraphine support right now. I don't think it's that strong. It's much better in like the APC role or mid lane, but it gives them another strong engage tool. You crescendo over top of the J4, you get more people in it. It's just the wombo combo. I'm just not a fan of it myself.
Yeah, and they kind of picked they banned away all the counters for that Camille top that you were kind of mentioning as well. So we'll see what they go with here.
Leona locked in. This champion is still as tanky as ever.
Oh yeah,
I remember.
Good engage.
Yeah, Leona was like the support a few patches ago. I think like maybe 4 or 5 patches ago now.
Yeah,
she was just the support champion. And the way Riot decided to tackle that is, let's nerf Leona's damage, because that's the issue with her. Not that her W gives her like 700 MR in armor, damage reduction. Yeah, this champion is still like just crazy good. She has long range engage with the Solar Flare and then the Zenith Blade. Get to follow up on that for free. I mean, Ezreal's going to be forced to take TP, cleanse. He's not going to. He's going to take TP, and he's going to look to Arcane Shift out of all that. But another champ we didn't talk about. We talked about the Camille. We didn't talk about the Aatrox. I think it's more difficult to play in this matchup just because there is a Seraphine. But AIE for Kiwi Slap gonna lock in with Camille. I wish I'd be more insightful on top lane. I don't know how this matchup goes, but I'm gonna favor Dobbs just because I've seen his Aatrox before. I've played with him before, so I'm just gonna favor it that way.
I think it's apparently slightly Camille favored, I guess. Is like what I'm reading right now, but
I wish I could give insight on that. I played the other side of the map. I just go, hey, my top lane got a solo kill. That's pretty cool.
I got top side and I get so lost.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's definitely going to be an interesting game here. I think both teams really getting what they want out of these drafts. SG going to look to be poking down with the Quirky Rockets, Ziggs, Bouncing Bombs, all that stuff before teamfight starts, while AIE kind of going to be doing the same, looking for command attacks out of the Orianna, Mystic Shots, any poke damage out of the Seraphine, and then the engage from Camille or J4, followed up by the Shockwave from Orianna, and then, on the SG side, once AIE is low, they're going to engage with the Lilia Swirl Seed or Flash Q into Sleep or Leona Solo Flare from 30 miles away. It's definitely going to be interesting to see how both these teams kind of play out this poke into engage style. I definitely think it's going to be interesting, but I'm going to favor SG just because Vezu got his one trick.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, I'm excited for this first game. This is the best of 5. It is a fearless draft, so none of these champions can be picked in the remaining 4 games. So we'll see if it goes the distance, but both teams really looking to come out with strong team fights and strong scaling. So super excited to see kind of how this game 1 goes. But we're going to throw it to a quick break. And when we are back, game 1 of this best of 5 Platinum Playoff Series, SG Proton taking on AIE Anguish. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, we are into game 1 of this best of 5 series, and looks like no early level 1 shenanigans. Just going to be a standard 5-point as we get into it. Anything interesting to you other than the 6 TPs?
No, I called it out in the champ select. I said Ezreal's gonna take TP, Ziggs is gonna take TP, and I was 100% right. The only quote unquote interesting thing is Camille took TP Ignite and not Flash, but with Camille, you don't really need to take Flash. It just depends on how SG's going to punish that and if they can. But overall, it's kind of expected runes and summoner spells in this one. Maybe the Orianna phase rush is the interesting thing, but they're gonna walk in here and try to get vision and assert dominance.
A little bit of an invade, but nothing too crazy. Just looking to get a ward, maybe doesn't actually even get that. Just a little bit of damage.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a smart idea to try to get in there and get that vision, but Pow's being the only one walking in there and getting no backup, he's not really gonna do much on his own. And there was nobody there for SG to punish the Orianna being overextended by herself. So nothing out of nothing, and we're just in normal lanes, laning phase here.
Yeah. And we see, power level 1 Corki trading in the mid lane.
I mean, yes, that
how it is.
Champion's E is just overpowered. It shreds MR and armor, and then his auto attack does both. So it's just really empowered trading, and if you're just going to be looking for that with the fleet footwork at level 1, you're just going to trade like none of your health for half the enemy's health bar and force him to burn potion. So really smart by Alf playing the lane like that and just knowing like what this champion does in the early levels. Before you really can be threatened by these control mages, you just push the advantage, you Eon cooldown, try to get the big trades into them, making sure you're not hitting the minions too much so it starts pushing disadvantageously into you. You just want to make sure you're trying to do as little damage to the minions with the E in early levels.
Yeah, and we just kind of see standard Ziggs getting pushed in a little bit at the start, needs to get that lost chapter, but playing the bot lane fairly well, up a couple CS for the Ezreal, but kind of early lull as teams look towards the power spike.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not expecting much to come out of this early game just based on the drafts that we have here. The Ziggs, Corki, Lilia, all scaling champions. Orianna, Ezreal, Seraphine, all scaling champions. So we're just going to have a pretty boring early game unless Storm Tech is going to do some crazy ganks on this Jarvan, picks up his red buff on his Krugs, could be looking for top lane. But Vezu on the opposite side could look for something bot lane. Sunrai has Flash Ignite, he'll be level 3 soon, and Alf's going to jump in onto Pow's though.
Yeah, nothing too crazy.
Yeah, and like I was saying, it's just going to be boring as boring can be in these early lanes.
Yeah.
And it's really just going to come down to like execution around these fights. But like, the later games go in the early game with no kills, the more important how you play out early team fights becomes. Just because like, hypothetically, this is going to happen, this is hypothetical. Nobody gets a kill until like Baron spawns on the map. Right?
Yeah.
You could die in a team fight, enemy team could get Baron, and that could just be game from that point. So it really, the later early game first bloods go, the more important how you play your limits in team fights become. And I'm curious to see how late we wait to get a first blood, as Vezu's looking to try to get a gank, but I don't think anything gonna come out of it.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult outside of like a big overextension. I feel like it's very difficult to gank some of these lanes on the Lilia. There's not a ton of setup, at least in the mid lane at least.
Yeah, specifically in the mid lane, but I'm not surprised to see Vezu being in that mid lane just because of the way this team plays. They need Alf to either be ahead or even with lane prio in these games because of how well he gets to get on the map and play with the rest of his team. gonna be interesting. But Dom's taking a big trade on the Kiwi
Yeah,
slap.
Kiwi
Slap.
could be in trouble here. Yeah, doesn't have to flash. Just dashes out, but wow.
Yeah, I thought we were about to have a first
Limit
blood there.
testing. Yeah, we're limit testing a little bit. Up a decent amount of CS. So I guess just decided they wanted to get that CS and head on out. But yeah, I was close.
I think Kiwi knew he was fine. He had the passive. He already did the math in his head. He calculated everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, at least we got some excitement out of this early game because he was just going to be trading waves back and forth. There's no real gold lead to talk about. CS kind of even every lane. You have the advantage of top lane. J4 up 4 CS right now just because he got a reset and on the camps sooner because Vezu tried that gank in mid lane. But,
Well, he's up a decent amount mid, though.
yes, because they just pushed Ori back, but she TP'd and she's going to catch the wave. So I'm curious what the actual difference is. It is 6. It is a full wave.
That's our early game excitement so far.
I don't know. We have a 10 CS lead in the top lane.
Yeah. Camille's looking pretty good out there. He'll be farming well.
Yeah, I mean, Aatrox kind of weak-ish in the early game, and Dobbs using the dash early, getting a big trade on there.
Lilia's here,
top lane, though.
Yeah, there's going to be a big 2v2 up here. Level 6 for the Camille, though. They can't actually commit because the level just came through on the gank. But
Alf had the flash mid
Yeah,
lane.
forced the flash in the mid lane, Lana going in, and House forced the flash as well.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
we're getting some action.
Yeah, while we were looking
flashes.
top lane and talking about that mid lane, Alf overextends, uses the Valkyrie early to get in on onto Orianna for a trade with the Gatling gun and Phosphorus bomb. But it turns bad for him because the command attack into a dissonance shockwave did almost all of his health bar and one-shot him. So very risky out of Alf there, but getting the flash away and Sunray on the rotation, getting to burn the flash 4 pows on the counterpart. But Kitsune roamed up to this top lane as Sunray went back to the bottom. First set scrub's gonna go over to AIE.
Yep, so a couple of flashes burned across the board in the mid lane, so potential regank. We'll see if Stormtech really kind of wants to look for that angle. But there's the objectives here.
Yeah, like we were saying before. Boring early game, there's not going to be super much for us to talk about here. It might be a little boring at times, but teams trading objectives early. I think after this dragon is taken, it's still only going to be like a 200 gold lead for AIE. So like nothing to really talk about except for like the CS leads in mid lane compared to the top lane, right? That's where the power points are. Camille more CS than Aatrox, Corki more than Orianna. So I think teams are going to start gravitating towards those lanes more because that's where your advantage is, right? Camille is very strong now on that Sheen and, going for the trade, but Dobbs played that really well, getting the dash out of the max range from Kiwi Slap and getting a nice little trade back there, getting the Q3 onto it. So, even though Dobbs is down CS, he's not afraid to fight this Camille.
Yeah. Is he, almost a 2k gold lead, actually, through the laning phase. Stormtech looking for this. The flag and drag comes through, but Dobbs flashes. Q-Slap goes in, but not going to find anything after that. Meanwhile, we got a fight in the bot lane. Jarzi goes through the Ziggs bomb over the top. It's first blood over to the Ezreal, though. Devil's Alter Ego looking for Yami. The flash wave's going to be, the shockwave is going to be flashed out of Yami. One more auto attack will go down. And that is 2 kills on the Ezreal. 1-2 right now across the map.
That was played very poorly by SG there, and very well played by AIE. I mean, they got only the Swirl Seed onto the Seraphine, and then they just focused everything on her, but nobody looking at Devil's Alter Ego on this Ezreal just again to pump out damage from the side, got onto Sunrai and Yomi by himself, and turned the play in favor of Devil's Alter Ego, winning out on that 2v3. But the other thing is Pow's roamed down, used his ultimate, and forced the flash out of Yomi, which wrote his death. So very well played by AIE in that early game exchange.
Yeah, 2 kills in the 3v3 down there. So great job. They're able to pretty much cross map it with the gank up in top side and didn't lose too much bot. So good for them on that play.
Yeah, and now I'm really curious to see where Stormtech puts his focus. There's no flash on any of these laners except for the Leona on the side of SG. So he could just look for whatever he wants now. I mean, the hardest ones to gank are like still Corki and Ziggs, just because Ziggs has his W Satchel Charge.
Yeah.
Corki with the Valkyrie. They can still get out of ganks without the flash, but Jarvan has his own flash. He can still follow up with that EQ flash combo, and if you get it right, you still get the knockup. So it's not a hard thing to execute, but if StormTech has the tech, it will work out in their favor, and they'll be able to start creating more momentum for their team in this game 1.
Yeah, see what you did there. More scrapping up in the top line. Kiwi actually taking the worst end of this trade until the stun does connect, and just the fight up in top lane.
Yeah, so Dobbs
also,
Pals.
Yep, 3
He's
people
got no
here.
flash.
Yep, Pals is in a lot of trouble. Rooted up, trying to give the kill to Alf. Alf does get it on the Corki, so first kill for Alf in this game. Meanwhile, top lane, we're scrapping as well. Dobbs, the Cataclysm comes through the flag dark follow up, and Kiwi Slap picks that one up. 2 quick fights, 2 quick kills.
Yeah, very well played by AIE in the top lane, and same on the other side in mid lane for SG. You know, Dobbs kind of maybe slightly misplaying that top lane play. Used the E early, so he couldn't dash out of the Cataclysm, but I don't think it would have mattered just strictly because the whatever Camille's ultimate name is was on top of him, wouldn't be able to actually get out of there, and Jarvan still had EQ flash, so I think Dobbs was dead no matter what. Tried to play it out the best he could, but in the end he does go down. But we're seeing a bounty already on this Ezreal, up 6 CS 2-0. You know, maybe that's where SG starts to focus, but you know, this gold lead started to get bigger because they went for a play, they got it, but a trade in the top lane keeps the gold ahead for AIE.
1K, and both supports kind of unlocked at this point, looking to come up to get these void grubs.
Yeah, I think
this would be 6 if they can get them. So if they can get 1, they'd be in a good spot. Dobbs doesn't really want to check it. Middle of the area.
Yeah, I think SG's just late on this play. They kind of know that J4 is there, but Vezu was in base. Like, there's nothing early in game. Like, that recall timer is so specific that you have to be ready for it because it is a J4. He can just take these very fast because of his E. I guess the attack speed, you know, does a decent amount of damage early game, and he's got the Eclipse already. So, like, Champion is very strong at this point, and, you know, SG is just not respecting how fast they can do it, taking late resets, and gonna give 6 grubs over to AIE, which is gonna be a problem. Camille in a side lane late game is gonna be a beast. So I'm curious, you know, how quick SG can stack up these dragons, because that's the trade they're gonna have to go for, and Dobbs is gonna be on an island in this top lane, because, you know, StormTech just going to run that side of the map now as they look for plays bot lane.
Yep, Kitsune gets in a little bit of trouble here. The sleep, I assume, to follow up. Going in, Ezreal in a little bit of trouble too now as well, but wasn't able to get that kill. Does get one. The teleport comes through for Kiwi Slap out, looking for damage on Yami. Flash forward, Pause, able to get the shutdown, looking for Yami one more hit, not able to turn it back in doubles. And it's going to be 3 kills. StormTech gets a kill as well as Pause. Yeah. And TP's right back up top. Yeah, walk.
What a TP out of Kiwi Slap there. Was able to get behind the back line and get on top of them. A little bit over aggressive for SG there. That was only the support they caught. They tried to get on Ezreal. They never used the Lily ultimate, Weltering Weeper, Sleeping Lullaby, whatever it's called. Never used that. So really just bad play, burning flash again on Vezu, trying to get it, but Dobbs gonna trade onto Pals. Pals has no flash. He could get solo killed here,
but Dobbs not flashing, so Pals does walk away. But yeah,
I mean, Vezu tried to burn the flash in the back half of that fight, get a big Q onto 4 people and put them all to sleep, but he's not tanky at this point in the game, and with new Lilia builds, doesn't get as tanky as they used to, so kind of just getting blown up there and not respecting the damage or TP play that AIE had. And AIE looking real strong in this game 1, about to be up almost 3K, about 2K here. Here's what happens here.
Lily's coming up top side. Kiwi in trouble, doesn't have the ultimate, obviously doesn't have flash, but skill shot will not connect, so Kiwi walks away.
Yeah, I think SG is starting to feel some pressure and starting to get desperate, trying to force plays and, you know, make them too obvious. You know, plat players have the tendency to make plays way too obvious, and enemies are just able to start read that and get away from it. And it could, like, just be the bane of you, because it's like, oh, there's no way Aatrox is going to trade onto me this heavily right now without anyone else being there. And, you know, Rift Herald going to be the name of this game, but both mid and bot, Yomi and Alf, in this bot lane And Sunrise
Mhm.
taking a reset, this could just be a free handle for AIE if they know that Sunrise is taking this reset. So definitely some weird tempo macro play stuff here out of SG, but AIE on the front foot and looking pretty good in this game one.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Their reactions to the plays that SG have been coming up with have been really good at TP specifically. And honestly, going back, Lily a little bit greedy, not going for the easy kill, going for the big kind of highlight play and just dying for it because the items just aren't quite there yet. But we'll see if they can pull it back. Down 3k gold. And we got about 3 minutes till the next dragon, so outside of Rift, not too much going on right now.
And it's also really nice seeing this out of this AIE team. They were a team that barely just squeaked in the playoffs, kind of playing to their own destiny, beat out the team that they were competing against and got in there. And, you know, a lot of people kind of sleeping on them most of the season. I've been an AIE fan since week 3, since I started writing content for BOL. And, you know, it's so nice to see teams make that jump and make that growth over the course of the season. And AIE really showing teams that, like, they are somebody you should be watching out for and be a threat. And, like, kind of sticking it to this team that a lot of people at the
Dobbs
season
is
are going to
in
be top
trouble.
Dobbs in trouble now.
Stormtech is there. The Camille ultimate comes down the flag and drive. The knockup is clean. Kiwi slap with a second kill. The H-Hawks getting abused in his top lane.
Yeah, and I mean, that's just why I think Camille is favored into Aatrox. What is he going to do once you lock him down? You know, really can't get out of it. No way to knock her back out of it. And also, that's a big thing with this, you know, SG draft. They kind of just, if they're behind, they just start falling more and more behind. It feels very hard to do anything on the map. They're really only engaged, besides like a big Lily Sleep, is the
Really
Slayona.
another 1v1 here? Yeah, Kiwi stops looking for a Stormtech's in the area. This is just, the Drowsy comes through, put the flag and drag into the Cataclysm. Another kill for this Camille. And when you thought it was rough, it's going to be really hard to sideline against this. And Pow's in trouble as well. Stormtech is here, though. Flag and Dragon and Flash Pow's looking to try to kite this out. Going to try to turn it around. The Shockwave does hit the Leona, who engages, but Dobbs comes in from the flank. Stormtech forced the flash. And it will be one kill as Camille is in the area. Decides not to pull the trigger on the engage. And they thought they could turn it around, but not quite enough damage, especially the Aatrox showing up there.
Yeah, I mean, good to get something on the back end there by SG, but such over-aggression by Vezu, trying to get a 1v1 onto a Trinity Force Camille at this point in the game. I don't know what he was thinking. Stormtech was also taking the Herald the whole time, so he was able to just rotate over, get the Cataclysm down, and pick up that one. And it's just like, this is kind of the question mark I had coming into the series for Proton was, Vezu came onto this team 2 weeks ago. They really haven't had much time playing together. You know, most amateur teams, they play a match night a week and one scrim, so you're getting at most 5 games a week. So really, like in series like this, when pressure is on, when you're fighting for your lives, because it is playoffs, one and dones, the nerves can be a big factor in these series. But
yeah,
you know, I'm hoping SG looks for something. You know, if they don't, I'm gonna shout out their coach Elton for having a terrible draft, and hopefully he can think of something to fix it up in game 2. But, you know, this game isn't over. SG's comp scales extremely well. And if they get a point, and Sunrise getting a catch there.
Oh, yeah. Oh man. Toon just instantly deleted. Ezreal forced the dash out. They're positioning around the second dragon. Meanwhile, we got to scrap over the top lane. Dobbs just walk away from that, though. But they're looking to try to get Dragon Vision. 4 members strong, the 2 members. Toon not able to kind of make that off the respawn timer, so Dragon down to about half health, looking for this. They're looking for a potential steal here. Stormtech going in, does spot it with the ward. Dragon down to 3,000. They're looking for the turn, though. Stormtech gets stunned up. The Drowsy comes through, but a good 2-man shockwave. Meanwhile, the Ziggs bomb over the top teleport coming through from the Camille. Shut down. The jungler's dead. Devil's alter ego shifting forward. Dobbs the rotation as well. Katoon's respawn. They do get the dragon. Orianna will secure that. They'll walk out, and it'll be 1 jungle for a dragon.
Yeah, so I like the idea there out of SG to look for that and look for Stormtech, but Sunrise getting impatient and path to the opposite side. You already saw the J4 was the boss side of that fight. he walked up the top side to try to establish vision for the Ezreal poke, but that's not the important factor in that fight. It is the Jarvan. So he was able to get in, get all of his damage out, and a Cataclysm down before he died to the CC combo. And, you know, once the Cataclysm was down, the Orianna had a big shockwave in that fight. So I like the idea. It's just the execution there was very sloppy out of SG. And it cost him a dragon, something that they need to be stacking, because Camille has taken that second inner tower in top lane and is just getting more and more fed and is a menace, starting to become an issue that has no answer by SG.
Yeah, and I assume the tier 1 mid turret, the next target kind of in their sights. If they're taking the outer turrets, we see Camille in the bot lane, continue trying to defend it in the mid lane as we see Powers answering top side, but not quite low enough yet for Ziggs to execute.
Yeah, I mean, my biggest question right now with this SG draft is who answers this Camille in the side lane, right? Aatrox is losing to her. Corki will die if she gets on top of her. Ziggs will die if she gets on top of him. Like, it becomes such a problem to play against a fed Camille like this, especially one with 6 scrubs and as much solo gold as she has taken these turrets. And it's just going to come down to team fight. Wombo, Stormtech looking to go in.
Drag, Connected just gets stunned up. Yeah. These two... Oh, we got Kiwi jumping in onto Lilia. Oh my goodness. Just instantly deleted. That Camille has so much damage right now. 4 members strong, looking to try to just brute force this turret down in the mid lane with the 6 scrubs. But there's so much wave clear on the side of SG Proton that it's really difficult to try to set up in siege. They have to find these advantages in the side lanes.
Yeah, and I mean, that whole time that Kiwi slap was just on top of Vezu.
Yeah, Shockwave comes through, Shunner is dead. Ezreal gets the kill. 3 kills now, 2 items completed. And maybe now, I don't know if Yami can solo hold this lane. Looks like
I mean,
we'll
have
try
to
to Ziggs on it. Yep.
But yeah, and Camille gonna look for another trade. And oh my god.
Yeah,
that's
it's 2 levels.
Insane. That's a Cho'Gath ultimate if I've ever seen one.
I don't know. Yeah, all Stormtech has to really do is shadow, because no one can stop this Camille. Does go in onto Vesuvius. The dunk comes through. Dobbs, the next in trouble for us to flash. There's just so much front-loaded damage coming out of this Camille and Stormtech right now that there's really nothing they can do about it. And of course, Stormtech, a lot of AP damage, just buys the Hex Drinker as well to stay safe.
Yeah, I mean, this is starting to get rough to watch. Like,
yeah, it's about 5k gold now.
Yeah, this Camille is just like the problem of the game, right? She's 5-0-2, never really pressured in lane. No one can answer her in the side lane, and you saw it there. She just walks in with no care onto Vezu, and we saw it in the mid lane too the whole time. The rest of the AIE squad just zoning out the other 3 members of SG, not letting anyone get to Vezu to save them, and like, it is just very hard now to continue to play the comp that SG has with a Camille who's just going to have backline access at all times and just insane kill threat onto all of them. And, you know, it kind of brings it back to, like, what was the ideas in draft, like, with these certain champions being picked, why, you know, we're picking certain matchups. And it just looks like AIE had the right read on what SG was looking for and just outdrafted them. And it's playing their draft to perfection.
Yeah, I think I would have really liked the Camille actually on the side of SG, because just Hextech ultimatum into the Ziggs bomb, and it's almost always a dead player.
I mean, I agree. I made a nod to it when we were going over the draft. I said, you know, Dobbs' Camille is really good. It's also a really good follow-up for a Solar Flare by Leona. Is just guaranteed CC on one target, especially a target like an Ezreal, who is just so hard to get on top of, especially with this SG draft. But Kiwi Slap just slapping down Dobbs in the side lane.
Bot lane right now. Yep, almost 2 levels up. It's a rough time for Aatrox. Aatrox, you know, needs to kind of be ahead to make these team fights work as well, and just not there. Under turret. Oh no, the ignite fadeaway. Yeah, it's enough damage. Oh, that's brutal.
God,
that's a backbreaker if I've seen one in the side lane. Oh no.
Yeah, and
that's
like,
so BM.
this is the point in the game where Camille's Q is basically just a Cho'Gath ultimate. when it charges up, the amount of true damage that the champion does with that thing in the late game is insane, and we just saw it there.
Alf TPing to the wave just to try to protect the turret. They're going to take another dragon, so they do have 2 Drakes. Yeah, I don't know what you can do here. It's about 7k gold. No one can match the side lane. They have really no great engage. So Ezreal could be caught, able to shift out, but here's Camille running interference to try to protect the players in the mid lane. They take a lot of damage though, so they have that going for them, but they do have shielding and the healing coming out of Kitsune on the Seraphine.
Yeah, I mean, you said what do you do at this point? And as SG, it's save mental, right? Look forward to the next game. These 5 champions for AIE are going to be disabled. They're not able to do the same kind of thing. You just got to look forward to next game, try to come up with a game plan. And even, you know, this game on paper is quote-unquote over and done with, you can still make plays in it, right?
Yeah.
Zig's siege potential is still insane. You have to make the right play, though. You have to overload a certain side of the map and be like, if we're going to make said play, what are we giving up for it, right? When the dragon was going down, they made no play on an opposite side of the map because AIE goes, this is the only play that SG can make, and decided to back off in that thing. So they have to look for a play that AIE won't be able to read and actually execute on it. That is the only way you have a chance back into this game, and it's really hard to do that on this Camille with how fed she is. But if you can catch out, like, the 3-man of AIE in the mid lane with the Leona engage, that is your chance back into this game. It just comes down to execution out of the SG side.
Yeah. They do have objective bounties. That is the one thing going for them. So, and their base has not been cracked yet either. So they have the opportunity to use the Ziggs Corki and just delay as much as possible, but we're kind of getting to that point where that may not be enough at this point.
There is a world where you let them break the base. You let AIE break the base, and then you just farm up that super minion gold, and that could be a way back into this game, but the just chokehold that AIE has vision
It's
around
a small
this
window.
Baron,
Yeah.
it's so hard to go for it. But if SG's going to go for a play, you give up this Baron, and you got to go for this Camille, because you are already so late on this play. Yes, they take it slowly, but Camille has TP and can
they are
get into this
answering.
play.
Yeah, they're looking for it. Swirling Seed not going to connect onto anything. Stormtech taking up the Baron down to half health. Dobbs in the area as well. 4 members. Alf is down at bot lane without the teleport, looking to try to prevent Kitty from teleporting in. Toss on half health. Baron just kind of spitting on everyone. Taking so long to kill this Baron, and the Ziggs bomb comes through, not going to get his steal.
Oh, you stole it!
Luria gets it though! Oh no! Sunray, the dunk comes through. Massive ultimate coming out of Kitsune right now. Sunray trying to peel, but Alf in the area as well. Now
He's
to go down potentially as well. Devil in trouble as well. Alf trying to do the damage. How did it look so good for so long?
my
But
God.
SG pulls it out. A 1 for Ace. What just happened?
Oh,
The gold's
my
even.
God.
They
Oh
have-
my God. And there's
They have
objective bounties.
Proton, too.
They can take
They have-
objective bounties.
They have objective bounties, yeah. What just happened? How did it look so good? They were up 7k gold and they lost the team fight. They're going to lose 2 turrets in the mid lane as well. At least not double objective bounties, but they're going for the inhibitor with the Baron wave as well. Kitsune, I don't know what you can do to respond here.
And Yomi has TP. If they wanted to, they're gonna look to end, I think.
They might. I mean, they're really short. I think they just get this and get out. I think
I think
the
Yomi
world would
TPing there is a little egregious. There's no need for
I
that, but-
agree. But look, they
Oh
cracked
my God.
all the mid lane turrets. The map is wide open for them now to take the other 4 turrets on the side lanes, and just the gold injection is going to be crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I wish we had instant replay to go back and look at that one. But, like, I don't think that fight was played well by AIE. They were taking up the Baron for so long. Stormtech got so low. They have no actual way to stop SG from getting in besides the Shockwave or the Crescendo. I believe Crescendo's Sona's ultimate, but the ultimate out of Seraphine. There's no way to stop them without you burning those ultimates or Stormtech getting on top of them. So SG really just able to get what they want and posture around it the way they want. Vezu walked all the way around the Baron, Really well played
It
by
is-
Yomi, who ulted
Yeah.
to get the vision on it, and Vezu, the smite steal of the night
It's
so far.
Hex Soul, though. They're going in on... Oh my gosh, that was 1-2 from Sunray. Q-Slap does get stunned up by the Solar Flare, taking a little bit of damage. Dobbs trying to go forward. In the
we're
front
going
to
to
back,
sleep.
the sleep comes through. The Ziggs Bomb over the top gets one. Storm Tech is the next to die. Two members fighting forward. SG trying to close out the comeback here. Kiwi Slap running away for their life. Palace and Devils fighting back. Kiwi Slap soon gonna drop if Best can get a little bit more damage. Does get it. The TP's come through. This is the end that they're looking for right now. Right through the mid lane with the Baron buff.
I thought Kiwi Slap was the raid boss, but it turned into Dobbs in that team fight.
Yeah.
He was in the Camille Hextech ultimatum and just literally 1v3'd them.
The
SG
front to back.
is gonna pull it off.
This is
made the comeback.
crazy.
Oh my god.
This is crazy game one right now.
SG, Elton, I'm sorry. I didn't see the vision.
We
I didn't
we
see
were
that was the play
doubters,
The whole game. The
but-
play the whole game was just go down 7k gold, steal a Baron, and win the game. I apologize, SG. I was not familiar with your game plan coming
Yeah.
into that one.
We talk about backbreakers when Camille basically one-shot Dobbs in the side lane. This could be a backbreaker for AIE in game one. This is a brutal game to lose.
I mean, and look, Camille did the most damage in that
Oh yeah,
game.
by far.
By far. That is a feel bad moment if you're a Kiwi Slap. You were so ahead. You were a menace to be dealt with. And, you know, I think the biggest thing is, like, in that Baron fight, Alf didn't have TP, but he had the time to walk all the way
Yeah.
up there because of how slow AIE takes that objective without
Yeah.
the Camille. And, you know, Camille gets there, and it didn't mean anything because they got this CC down there. If you CC the one fed member on an enemy team, the rest of the team has the damage to kill you, and that's what SG did there. And a phenomenal comeback by them in this game.
Yeah, and honestly, the carries carried when they needed it most. They just sat back, got the gold, got the 3 to 4 items, and just had some really good team fights. Vess had a great sleep, Jazzy, with Yami's bomb over the top. Did a ton of damage in that last fight as well. And they, I mean, overall, just play the team fights better.
Yeah, I mean, if this is how this series is going to be, I hope we are here for 5 games because
Yeah.
this series
That's
is
a
a
banger.
banger to start
Yeah.
with. That is crazy. But,
Yeah.
you know, I think you and me, I think we both need a minute here. I think the teams are going to be taking a minute after this one to go over draft plans. And, you know, we'll see everybody on the other side of this break.
Yeah, we'll be right back.
Awake to my voice and hear the call within. Embrace
All right, we're back with a game 2 of the Platinum play-ins or round 1. SG Proton on the red side in game 2. Anguish, AIE Anguish opted for blue side. Quick couple bans, Yom, Blitz, and Aurora. We're back from what was a banger match, and SG Proton climbed a 7K deficit. Take game 1.
Yeah, I mean, off one play too, really clean out of them to
Yeah.
come back in that one. Just Baron turned the whole game around. But you know, we see 2 of the same bans. I can't remember if Ash was banned in game 1, but the Yone and Blitz still being banned away here from SG. SG keeping the same 3 bans, not wanting AIE to get any of that. And you know, I'm not surprised Yone is being banned. Like I said earlier, champion strong, Sunrise, Blitzcrank, like his champion besides like his Thresh, these hook champions he's insane on. And we see a Sejuani first pick. I like that. I still think this champ is insanely strong. You just build support
agree.
items out of the jungle. Nobody can get away from you. You still do an insane amount of damage for some reason. But
Good engage as well, especially if you have melee top laners, so or melee solo laners. We'll see what we get there. But Ari Jinx locked in.
yeah, that is just Ari Jinx right off the rip there. Very bold by SG for that one. Caitlyn locked away by AIE. So AIE going to look to play a much more bot-centric game this one instead of a top one. And they're going to have to get Devil's Alter Ego ahead on this Caitlyn to be effective because, you know,
Ooh,
Yomi's just
Caitlyn
going to
Lux.
scale into this game. But Caitlyn Lux is the hover not picked yet. You know, that's just a classic pairing. One I prefer is actually with the Karma. It doesn't have the same CC setup as Lux, but it provides
The
a lot more
damage. Oh, yeah.
wave pressure and also safety for the Caitlyn with the speed up on the shields and
Mhm.
everything like that. And it's Karma's more utilitarian to help the team than just one champion like this Caitlyn. But curious if AIE is going to be able to pull this one out a lot harder to execute than the last draft they had.
I would really like Braum here, I think, but Thresh is still solid.
I mean, Thresh Jinx, classic duo. Keep
Mhm.
the hyperscaling AD carry who has no mobility safe. Thresh is really good. It's one of Sunrise picks. I see why you would want the Braum. It
Mhm.
works well with Jinx, but he kind of just gets did by the Kate Lux lane. Like,
Yeah.
you do nothing for 15-20 minutes and you hope
is
that
boring.
you don't
Yeah.
die 4 times, because that's literally what all they have to do. They kill the Braum 4 times and it's
Mhm.
basically game over. So you just gotta pray. But I like the Thresh pick more because it also gives you actual kill threat now. Because if you hit a hook onto Caitlyn or Lux, they are so susceptible to getting just
Oh, yeah.
dove on. And if you set up Jinx traps correctly, you can flay them back into it, and just a lot of CC out of nowhere and a lot of damage out of nowhere as well, because the empowered auto Thresh gets from the flay charge up. But Nocturne banned away, not giving him a Nocturne Ari combo. Mordekaiser still banned away from Kiwi Slap, as well as the Salawi hover. I'm really curious to see what they do for SG this game for the Dobbs pick, just because it seems like Kiwi Slap is the best player on AIE. So they're gonna save the R5 for Dobbs, and I do like the Zac pick. Gives them more engage options, but it can be
Is it a
stopped by-
top or a jungle?
It's gonna be jungle. It's
You
gonna
think
be
so?
Vezu on
Okay.
the Zac. He's already played it once this season.
True.
Can be stopped by the Sejuani Q or the Lux Q, the late binding. So definitely curious to see what angle Vezu is looking for here to get those weird Zac engages that he's.
Yeah, see what they want to answer here. Timing out the Nico in the mid lane, so bit of a wombo combo coming out. See how they want to round it out in the top side. What do we think here?
I think you should look for something more safe. You're not going to be the carry this time as Kiwi Slap. You're going to be, you know, being kind of more so out in Lineland. They're going to look to play for Caitlyn Lux, because Caitlyn Lux doesn't get ahead, kind of do nothing all game as Caitlyn. She falls off after 2 items and gets strong again at 4. But Kiwi Slap's Gnar. So I got to cast. I got to cast this when you were away, Traxon, and he almost got a pentakill on this.
Oh,
Yes, it was into Sun Lero, who's playing with 2 roll swaps, but that we're not going to be specific on that. But he did almost get a pentakill on Gnar.
we'll see.
I'm so curious to see how he picks this. I love this. Please lock it in.
Oh,
That's
no.
locked. That's locked. We are Malphite gaming here on R5.
Malphite Zac, by the way.
I
Oh, no.
love this pick here. I love picking Malphite top lane. You actually have so much kill threat, even if you go full tank. It is insane.
Yeah.
And
Got buffed too, didn't it?
I didn't read the full patch notes. I believe so, but
Yeah, got buffed.
Lux, Nico, Caitlyn. Where's their
Mhm.
mobility? It doesn't exist. This Malphite's gonna ult on top of them, and they're gonna be able to do
Oh,
zero
man.
things in a team fight with the Zac follow up.
Zach is
This
terrifying.
is crazy.
Yeah.
This SG draft kind of just gaps the AIE one, man. I am excited for this game.
Yeah, that's I'm excited. A lot of engage, so it's really on AIE to ward the creative angles that Malphite and Zac can kind of come out of. Especially like if you like think mid lane, you got to ward those the raptor area and stuff like that to prevent those long range engages. So we'll see if they're able to do that. There's a chance, but I just feel like if SG Proton sees them on the map or the screen, they just hit the go button and champions die.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing with this AIE draft is the amount of pick they have. They have a lot of single target burst damage, kill threat. So that's really what they're gonna have to be looking for in these fights before objectives. Is set up early, get that first pick, and then deny momentum from of being able to just walk in and start a fight whenever they want. They have the Malphite button. You just start a fight no matter what. It's called unstoppable force for a reason. So it's definitely going to be, the onus is on AIE this game to be setting up and executing these picks and fights correctly. But if SG just gets a straight up front to back 5v5, they're going to wipe the floor every time with the comp they drafted.
Yeah, so with that, it sounds like you're favoring SG Proton in game 2 still.
I have to until, you know, they fully throw it, which they didn't in game 1. They made the comeback, but I think looking at it as a plat team versus a plat team, SG draft by far is better because AIE is just the harder to execute one.
Yeah, there's definitely parts where I like of AIE comp, and I feel like there's angles in which they can get leads and kind of push them, but when it comes down to the 5v5s, we saw SG Proton execute them better. They're in an easier comp to kind of play right now, so I think I agree with you. If I were to bet, I would say SG Proton 2-0 this series, but we'll see. We're going to throw to a quick break, and when we are back, we'll see if SG Proton can head to match point or if AIE Anguish forces a game 4. We will be right back. are back. It's game 2. AIE Anguish up against SG Proton. SG Proton leading the series 1-0 in this fearless best of 5. And unfortunately, again, no more shenanigans.
Yeah, I mean, there shouldn't be any shenanigans at either team in this one, right?
That's
SG
what I live
kind
for,
of
level 1.
kind of was kind of almost through the game in in the early game in that first game, but was able to claw it back, made that 7k swing super fast. But we got one interesting summoner spell choice. It's the
I knew
cleanse
this was coming.
on
This
Jinx.
is such a good cheese lane. Oh, he walked out. He didn't ward it either. Are they gonna walk up maybe? Thresh is still there. All right, I'm getting involved in this, invested in this bot lane 2v2 for a second here.
Yeah, they're not looking for it, which they should be. They're pinging it. They're pinging it. They have no
And then I
idea.
just they should okay.
They should just
What
walk
you should
in.
do if you're worried about level 1 cheese, just run down bot, drop a ward in that middle bush, and then go do what you need to do. All right, you'll always spot vision if you're getting cheese, but it looks like they opt not to cheese level 1. Let's look for the default 2v2. They get the push anyway, so it's a winning lane at the start because the range of Lux right now. So
Yeah, I mean, I think
could happen though.
The only summon spell I want to talk about here is Lux going exhaust over ignite. I guess the theory is you exhaust the Ahri in a late game team fight. You just should take ignite in this matchup. You're playing for hard 2v2. Who cares about a late game Ahri, right? You should be winning in 25 minutes with a Kate.
Kate Lux is such a hell lane that they need to get ahead, and if they don't, it's Yami's gonna be feasting if not.
Yeah, and then Dobbs, he did take the Arcane Comet in this top lane. Correct thing. He's going into a quote-unquote range champion, even though Nari does have the transformation into a melee. As a Malphite aficionado, if you're playing into ranged, you take Arcane Comet. If you're playing into melee, you take Grasp. It's that simple. It is the easiest thing to do in the top lane is figure out which rune you go on Malphite. And, the starting item can change. He's going the Doran's Ring here. It gives him more mana and a little bit more poke damage on the Q, which can give him solo kill pressure at level 6. But, not thinking he needs to go. Both get level 3 there. Nice trade for Kiwi Slap, but that's just Gnar in the early game. He hits that level 3 point. And the transform into Mega is basically a free heal. And also, hits him on the edge with that slam.
Yeah. I mean, it's range in a melee matchup, level 1 to level 2. It is what it is. That's a lot of damage, though. Able to proc the passive.
And that's the biggest threatening part in that matchup is when he gets the passive from transforming back into Mini. He gets that speed boost and a little bit of attack speed buff. So it becomes a little bit harder there for the Alpha, but good trade out of Alpha in this mid lane. Wow. But, Dobbs really down no CS. He's actually going to be up CS after this.
So really well for, as much as Kiwi's been hard pushing this lane on their turret here. I mean, there's always the chance that with Mega Gnar coming around, Stormtech could dive a big turret because, Dobbs, pre-level 6, not really a champion. But I don't know if that's something they really want to go for right now.
Yeah, the fact that Dobbs is even in CS, he did drop a lot more under the turret than we saw originally, so he couldn't get a CS lead. But being even in CS in this early lane where Gnar should just be able to bully you is really good. But Vezu, cleared his whole side, saw that Sejuani was bot side when he tried to go for that scuttle, so goes up for the top one, and probably both junglers going to take the reset afterwards, except Vezu is looking for a gank here onto Kiwi Slap, but channels the recall.
Yeah, it's Mega Gnar.
And he's going to wait a little bit. I don't think anything's going to come of this play. He's just doing the smart thing of sitting in bush in case something does happen, but gets the recall off. He'll just be a little bit behind tempo on reset timers as Stormtech's already back on the map. And Vezu's in base, but nothing really to come there. Really well played by the solo laners in this matchup again. Kind of a boring early game, but
2v2's been a lot more passive than I expected it to be.
Yeah, I
haven't seen a lot of light bindings looking for them. I mean, I know they've seeded a decent amount, but they're going to be fine in CS, honestly. So.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest issue here is that Kasuna is just not stepping up at all to have any threat. He could be walking past the minions for the ease or late bindings onto them, but he's kind of worried about getting hooked in by Sunrai and just getting bursted before he has a chance. But we see a late binding there, and nothing comes of it because Yomi is just sitting under the turret and gonna be down maybe 1 CS at the end of this. So Really well played, but he messed it up. So he's down 2 CS now
Oh,
because
no.
he messed it up. But yeah, no, this is not what you want to be seeing if you're the AIE bot lane. You should be up
Yeah.
like 10, 12, 15 CS at this point, right? They should
You
have
just
no
win
health.
level
They should have
1.
They
Yeah.
should have had the recall already, but they're gonna get this pushback in and get a bounce back on a reset.
Yeah.
And really well played by SG bot lane here. You know, this was a big thing Yomi had been working on last season, and when I was playing with him, and in the offseason, working on wave control. So really good to see it like starting to pay off here.
Yeah, going for Dragon as well. Okay, I was a little excited. They're a little early to Dragon rotate, but they'll get there. I mean, they are going to give up a decent amount on this Dragon play. Maybe like a wave down the bot lane, but not too much.
It is, so the bot lane's going to slow push back into them because it was a cannon wave. So that's why they're going for this play, because there's no real super threat of a hard push out there. They'll probably end up losing a wave and a half bot lane, but you get the early dragon stack, and now Vezo can just reset and run back up to these top lane grubs because they know Sejuani isn't on them because it's warded. So really good early plays here out of the SG team.
Yeah, good macro.
All right, I'm looking at items. I like this early purchase out of Dops, right? The only thing that's going to kill him is these auto attacks from a Mininar. So really smart purchase out of him, just going for the Ninja Tabby, aka played Steel Caps, but Sunrai. Oh, Sunrai.
Oh no, walking a little too far forward. Didn't have vision of the bot lane. SG picks that one. A little 6 for the Sejuani came through. Good ultimate there. And now Yami's in bit of a pickle, zoned off the turret. That's a lot of turret plates going over to Devils now.
And this is what you wanted out of the bot lane of AIE. They got the pick onto Sunrai, and now Yomi can't walk up because his jungler's topside. Right,
Yeah.
Storm Tech is in the spot quadrant. Their play they're gonna have to do is Alpha's gonna have to sack a mid wave and get the support bot lane. And Storm Tech is so far away from this play. If they get on them, this is gonna be huge for SG.
Yeah. Oh, the flash
So when they flash
comes through, but the charm is right there, sending in the pixel brush. Looking to take that one. It will be given over to Yami. Yep. On the Jinx. So, I mean, they trade 1 for 1 overall, but that is 3 plates picked up for the Caitlyn. So a big gold injection.
Yeah, and the kill as well. First blood kill. So big gold injection onto Devil's Alter Ego. Okay, I need to talk about this. Why do Caitlyn's build Berserker Greaves? You were the worst attack speed scaling 80 carry in the game.
It's also like really expensive now, right? Like,
just build
did they
Merc
rebuff
Tread,
it?
Right? Who cares that Merc Treads cost more money?
Is
You're
it
gonna
still
get
2
CC'd.
daggers?
It's no, it's 1 dagger boots.
Is it 1 dagger now? They changed it? Okay.
I think it's like 1,400 gold though. But like, regardless, just build the thing that's gonna keep you alive. Build the Mercury Treads. Build Swiftfoot boots. Who cares about your attack speed as Caitlyn, right? I also hate the lethal tempo. I love fleet footwork on Caitlyn. Your whole point is you get 1 headshot auto onto somebody, you do all of their health bar, right?
Yeah.
You don't care about auto attacks in team fight. You care about your trap hits, your headshots, and your ultimate. You care about 1 hit and 1 hit only. Fleet footwork is the route you should be going. You are the worst attack speed scaling in the game besides Jhin, but Jhin is weird. Gets movement speed off attack speed, and we don't talk about that champion because I can't count the 4. But regardless, I hate when 80 carries don't know what their champion actually does. Read your champion.
Fair. There's a couple Jinx builds going on. I was curious to see what's your opinion on Kraken on Jinx is right now. Because I assume that's what Yami's building into right now.
He's going to build Kraken this game because they have a Sejuani and Meganar, but we'll talk about that after the bot lane play.
Does? No, okay, never mind.
What a hook by Sunrise.
Yeah, such a good hook. Another kill. Pose is in the area. Pose could be in trouble. Yep, the charm. They did get their clone.
No, he got the real
one. It wasn't even. It was the real one. I got bamboozled.
Oh my god.
Oh, it just goes from bad to worse. That's 3 kills in the Jinx.
Yeah, really good play out of there, out of SG. You know, Vezer flashing forward to get the ultimate out of Zac, and Sunrise getting the max range hook onto the flashing buffs to pull him back into the traps that Yomi set up. Very well played by the spot lane, and then Alf on the roam there, marking Pows and Storm Tech the whole time, and hitting the charm onto the real Nico, but they're gonna look bot lane here.
I just what damage, what follow up do they have? Yeah, I just feel like it's a wasted play from Storm Tech. Just trying to keep the bot lane safe, but it honestly feels like AIE picked a 2v2 with strength without being super comfortable on how it's executed in lane.
So Sunrise actually playing this super well because Stormtech was looking to get a Q flash or Q ultimate onto Yomi. Sunrise literally just stood in front of Yomi the whole time and said, "If you're gonna do anything, it's gonna be onto me." So shout out there, a support being a support going. If anybody's gonna die, it's gonna be me, not my Fed 80 carry. They're gonna get to reset no matter what.
Yeah, we love support laners.
Yeah,
There are
but like
support players that do that.
like you said before, about the Jinx builds. He's gonna go the Kraken build this game because there's gonna be a Meganar he's gonna have to shred through and a tank money. But there is the value of also going this Lethality build in this game because they have a Nico, Caitlyn, and Lux able to survive the damage you're doing. But the difference is instead of getting all these autos out, you can kind of become a W and ult bot looking for the resets. Like you're just throwing out W's, you're trying to get an XQ with your ultimate to get excited and actually be a threat in the team fight. So it's a weirder playstyle to play if you're used to playing these auto attack 80 carries. But Yomi also plays Caitlyn, so I could see either. But I like the Kraken build specifically because of the Sejuani of this game. And you're not going to outpoke a Caitlyn in the late game. So look for good positioning in the team fights and get it that way. But Sunrise,
there's not a lot of follow-up damage though, right? Like there's no Caitlyn there. Ace in the hole comes
Vezu's
through,
here.
but Vezu, yep. Good light binding to keep them safe for a little bit longer. Off on the roam as well. The rocket comes through the reset. Devil Force the flash. And bit of an overextending coming out of AIE here.
yeah, I don't know what damage they thought they were going to do to Sunrise there. You are a Lux.
So support Lux with boots.
You went full boots first item.
Yeah.
Like, all right.
If Clinton was like around Tribush, it makes sense, right? Just not quite having the damage to back up that play. It was a good pick, right? Great binding, good ultimate coming out of Stormtech, but just too soon. And now you don't have the dragon. You lose the fight after that because you don't have any follow-up on the initial engage, and it's just wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah, really rough play there on the AIE. Like, this is what I was talking about. Dobbs,
I thought Dobbs was gonna go in for
Dobbs
it.
can solo kill. He would slap.
Yeah, I was like, I think Dobbs could just kill him if he presses R, but
yeah, the Meganar coming out, playing
playing
it smart. But this is what I was saying before about Malphite can just solo kill anybody at level 6. Like, especially once you have like more mana in, you just start hitting Qs on them every time it's off cooldown. You get the guaranteed proc off the Arcane Comet unless he's gonna waste top to get away. And then they're eventually low enough where you just Q ult WE and they're just dead. It's insane the amount of burst damage you still do as a full tank, especially with Bomby Cinder on top of them, just slowly whittling them down. But like we were saying in the spot lane play, they went for the pick, but Lux went full boots first item. Like, that's not needed. Just build full burst damage and then build boots. And oh my god, they're going to go down again.
Zach here as well. I mean, camp the carry, right? That's going to be another rocket coming out. Yami is now unstoppable, 5 kills. And we kind of talked about the difference in the builds earlier. But if you got 5 kills and you're up this much gold,
oh no,
it really doesn't matter what you build. Devil's getting dove right now.
Devil's gonna die.
Zap doesn't quite connect, but the Chompers does. The hook doesn't connect either, but the Zap there. One more auto attack. Yami now dominating, 6 kills. Does proc the passive. The Excite comes through, obviously, so a whole bunch of turret plates are going to drop. And the rich get richer. Yeah, this is really rough lane. We mentioned they have to be ahead to make an impact, but they are so far behind now on a team comp that basically just presses R, and AIE is probably going to fall over in these team fights here.
Yeah, I mean, I talked about this on Otter Talk, I talked about this in my content, but like, if you get Yomi ahead, you are going to win the game, right? This man is the definition of an 80 carry. We have a lot.
Oh, good ult. Good ult. Pop
also
going to find one, but Alf goes in, does find some damage on
what a
the charm. Such a good weight on the charm. The smite as well. The slingshot. Oh, it's enough damage. Alf dies. Or, yeah, Alf picks up the kill,
man. We used to meme about Alf's RE charms, but they are hitting
these
this
charms
game.
Have been on.
These charms have been beautiful this game.
Oh my gosh.
But you know, like I was saying, I wrote about it in my content. You get Yomi ahead, he's going to carry you, and that's kind of the same issue with AIE. They need to play for Devil's Alter Ego to get this team like really rolling.
Yeah.
And SG just playing to their carry way better, right? They're making the plays around Yomi. He's positioning great, getting the resets in the team fights. You know, Sunrise on his Thresh is just a different breed of player. You can see it between game 1 and game 2.
Mhm.
SG's confidence is insane, and you know, I want these top laners to both end this game 0-0-0. I think that would be the best fashion, right? They're just both up here, beating on each other, doing nothing, and the
Map's
rest of
on
the team
fire,
is just winning.
hanging on top
This
side
is
still.
the
Nothing they can do.
classic solo queue top laner experience. You press tab at 15 minutes and you go, why is the enemy doing 6-0? It is the classic experience. Like, you get one solo kill top lane and you're like, awesome, great. Why is it 1-15? What happened on the rest of the map?
And it's like, and of course, it's like the game where you want to play a tank or something like that as well, and you're just like, well, it's doomed.
I think it would just be the best thing to have these top laners just play full solo queue at this point and just leave them alone. But
yeah,
you know, SG gonna pick up the Rift Herald here. They are stacking objectives very well. They only gave up these grubs, and it wasn't even
it was 2 grubs. Yeah,
2. So I'm curious what
grubs.
happened there, but
yeah, they got 3 dragons or 2 dragons. My apologies, and 3 grubs.
it's
There we
gonna
go.
be 3
Talk
dragons
now.
in about
Yeah.
a minute. It's time here.
I mean, this could be one of the fastest souls we've seen in a while here,
Yeah.
with just how one-sided this has been.
I mean, this bot turret is gonna go down on this push just because of how low it got from Caitlyn.
Yeah.
But oh my
Alf,
god,
oh,
wait,
Alf finds the charm.
House is gonna die.
House is in trouble. Alf the
Oh, he
flash
tried to flash?
doesn't
Does he
quite
get
dodge it though, but it's the one
Oh.
going over to Powers.
Wait, Sunrise gonna look for it. Flash Q. Flash Q. He got the real one. I thought it was
Oh
like
my
He got the
gosh.
real one.
Wait,
Oh wait, mid lane.
yep, mid lane. Yami's looking to do some damage. Lux in trouble. Flashes. Oh no, doubles the resets comes through. Flashed into the zap. Yami, the rocket going forward. 1 more auto attack. 2 more kills to the Jinx. Yeah, I honestly thought it was. I thought Powers got.
I thought
the,
Pals got out. That's why I stopped talking.
Yeah, same. I was like, oh, we're going.
I was
we're
like,
going
alright,
mid
he's
lane
gone.
instead, but no. So Sunrise does get that one, gets it back 2-11. Ooh, it's not too crazy of a gold lead, but it is enough at 18 minutes that it is really concerning.
Especially with
And
8
3 drakes.
0-1 on Jinx with
Yes,
3
8
Drake,
on 1.
right?
Yeah, I mean, this is Yami's game to win or lose, basically, right? So it really kind of just depends on what Yami feels like.
I want to note this build on Alf here. He has the Malignance and Double Phoenix Codex. This is actually such a smart choice because of just what you're looking to do is Ari is use the ultimate and land charms. He is just going to have so much CDR and it's
Yeah.
going to be, ability haste. And it's just going to be so hard for AIE to do anything the way this champion works. I really do like this pickup, but, you know, a lot of people were saying, like, Yomi isn't as good as people say he is, and this, that, and the other thing. You can debate Yomi is the best, second best, third best, 80 carry and plat, but this man, like, through and through, is a hard carry. He will get you to the promised land if you play for him, and he is showing that this game. Like, he's greeting and spending 800 gold to buy an Executioner's Calling for what? Because he has the gold. There's no healing that he has to worry about.
Yeah, actually, I'm looking at it right now. I'm like, why? But,
there is no
whatever.
healing. He is saying, I don't need this 800 gold.
Just gonna hit him with my wallet. Speaking of hitting with their wallet, Dobbs, Kiwi, really not doing much damage anymore.
The
to
Avengers are on the way to top lane.
Yeah, yeah. The hook not gonna quite make it. Such one else gonna go wide as well. So, cooldown will be up at Glacial Prison in a minute and a half.
But like, this game is looking almost as bad. Probably almost as bad as the game 1 we had. So, AIE gonna have to look for a Baron steal and swing.
What's
this
crazy
back
though,
into
the
their
gold's
favor.
not that crazy yet, right? It's still about 2K, so
It's because the SG isn't taking turns.
Yeah. Exactly. So like, there's still a lot more gold on the map for them to kind of knock down, but I mean, we'll just see how the macro works out and how much we're all side laning and trading right now.
I mean,
Yeah, Dobbs is.
yes. He's gonna
Oh
just
no.
slap him with his wallet. Just
Yeah.
wait. Just wait. 3 more trades like that. Dobbs is gonna get that solo
Yeah.
kill that I've been talking about.
Needs to wait
Here
this out,
comes.
honestly.
But you know, SG could like start doing the smarter macro plays of
Yeah.
they could trade this next dragon and just set up on this Baron and just take it on spawn. Definitely a possibility here, but
It is a 20-minute Baron, so it is gonna slap. I feel like SG could potentially throw if they just look to brute force it and
I mean,
not
they
have
have
like a advantage
double-
in players.
they have double super tanks with Vezu and Dobbs,
true.
right? So you just trade Dragon. Oh, they're gonna look for a play on bot lane. We can see it on the mini map. They're all looking
Yep.
to get onto Alf down there.
Oh boy, what can Alf do? Dodging forward, the
Oh,
ultimate, but the flash from Nico follow up the root as well. They'll get the kill, but there's really no follow up either. They TP Dobbs in the backline, but what is Dobbs gonna do? Just
Dobbs
kind
gonna solo kill both of them. He's gonna 2v1 right here. Get him,
just gonna
Dobbs. Get
stack
him.
and run away.
Yeah, but really well played there by AIE, getting that pick off on the side lane.
Mhm.
Yes, they used 2 ultimates and a flash, but at this point in the game, you got to start making plays. You got to find somebody to carry you
Yeah.
into this
That's-
game, and it could be Powers. If he gets onto, you know, Yomi, it could just be that insane burst damage. Get him, Dobbs. Get him, Dobbs. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the Malphite trade. He won that one.
Oh
But-
yeah.
Yeah, I do like to play out of Storm Tech and Pows there. They might have used a lot for it and could be punished for it later, but getting the gold onto a champion like Nico who
here
has
we go.
some burst damage, oh my god.
Down
Running
to
down
half health. Dobbs taking a lot of damage at the boat.
Run,
Trying to get
Dobbs,
in
run,
minions.
run, Dobbs,
Wait,
run.
Dobbs, what are we doing? Dobbs.
He has to ult away. The flash. The house.
Right. Oh my gosh. Not even close. 150 HP. Dobbs walks away.
This is what we love. This is top lane League of Legends.
I don't think they've left lane outside of Dobbs TPing.
Dobbs TP bot for nothing
back
and then
top.
walk way back top lane to lose a trade and another turret. Man, talk
I mean,
about
they
top
are
lane
bleeding a lot of
gameplay.
turrets out, to be fair, right? So the side lane actually has not gone in their favor with how fed their ADC's been. So I'm kind of curious to see how they try to turn this around. But
I mean,
yeah,
they
he's
were-
able to keep the
win.
goal close still.
Yeah, they were not supposed to win the side lane. Malphite could never be
Yeah.
our side lane. Oh, Powers is caught here. He has
Oh,
the flash.
Paus should be in trouble. Alf looking to try to get close enough for the charm. Doesn't get close enough, though.
Dobbs is here.
In
Dobbs
a
is in.
whole bunch of trouble. Here comes everyone on the top. Kitsune, the glacial person, goes down. Alf really low, actually. Yami free firing on the back line. Storm Tech went a little too deep. The Jinx resets have come through. Oh no, Devil
Wait,
forced
hold
the
on.
flash
Yumi,
out,
oh,
but he
Yumi.
hits it. He hits it. He doesn't get the follow-up, though. Ace in the hole, blocked out by Sunray. The support really doing what he can, and Zach passive was proc, doesn't get stunned, and it's 2 for 0. Lot burn though.
And I hate to say it, Dobbs got 2 KP in that fight. He will not end the game 0-0-0.
Yeah, it's rough.
But hey, SG played that so well. Alf
Mhm.
barely living on the end of that fight. Stormjack tried to pick him up and was not able
Yeah.
to. But the spacing by
This is
Yomi
Soul,
there was
too.
just
Yeah,
so
Yomi played that really well.
insane. Like I said, this man will carry you to that promised land. He knows how to play his champions that he's like known for to their absolute limit. Positioned so well on them. And you know,
Yeah.
I like to say that's because of me, because I used to have to yell at him to auto attack people in team fights when we used to
There
play
you go.
together. So
Well,
I guess
you
he
yelling-
finally learned his lesson and learned how to auto attack, and he was able to show it there. I'm gonna be honest, I thought he was gonna pick up the pentakill in that fight the way it was started out.
Yeah. 10 kills on the Jinx, 3 items completed. Gonna be going towards that IE pretty soon. And somehow still within 2K goal.
I'm pretty sure
Sold 20, sub 25 minutes, by the way.
I'm pretty sure Caitlyn is supposed to build IE second when you go this collector build.
I think so, yeah.
But choosing to go for the armor pen because of the Malphite in this game, right? Because Vezu built no armor. He built full AP because of the Nico and the Lux and the...
Mhm.
Well, he built, sorry, full MR because of Nico, because of Lux, because
Yeah.
of second AP damage. And, you know, Dobbs being that other tank building full armor for the Gnar and the
Mhm.
Caitlyn. So, you get the best of both worlds when you have a Zac and a Malphite on your team. But I feel like Caitlyn is just gonna lack damage now because like normally she's known for that 2-item power trough, and even more so now that she doesn't have an IE second item. This is worse than a 2-item power trough. She basically had a 1 power trough because she's gonna just do no damage to anyone in the team fights. I feel like.
Yeah, I think this is a really unique game because ultimately I think in about 4 minutes this game will be over or decided. Yeah, Devil's in trouble. Yep. Yami, 11 kills. I mean, Yami basically has to face check powers and Kiwi slap to die in this next fight. But I think there's a big chance that Elder just is the game.
And I mean, yeah, you're probably right. Baron or Elder, but also that's the Zac champion right there. We saw that insane engage range from the
You gotta
bottom
work the sides.
mid lane to the middle of mid lane is just crazy space engage. But Stormtech looking to come
Baron
in
down
here.
6k. Sejuani's
That's Pow's on the other side
in
of
the area.
Oh no! Oh, they caught Pow's.
Wait, yeah,
they didn't fall for it. That was the real Stormtech that went off.
Good. I thought they were just going to go for the steal. It looks like a split call. Katsuni, the exhaust goes on the Alf. Stormtech trying to get in the back of the fight. Baron, 94 HP, but Jinx secures it. Katsune dies. Stormtech in trouble as well. Does dodge out the zap, but I mean, it's a red buffed 11 kill. Jinx is absolutely destroying the health bar of the jungler. And it looked like Stormtech was trying to go around the backside to steal it, but they also were hanging out in the area for whatever reason, as if they were going to fight it. Maybe a split decision there, and it cost them the Baron and a couple kills.
Yeah, I mean, really split decision. This game was kind of over before it started, the way the early game played out. And, like, I'm going to shout out this Kasune build. This is not the build, champ. If you're playing Lux support, I get it. You want to be a support. Just build the full burst damage. That's what your champion has to do in that role. This isn't back when, like, you know, Warmogs was the best item and you would go Aftershock Warmogs Lux because no one could kill you then, actually. But, like, it's not that build anymore. You just have to stay on that full AP damage. If you're looking to go to the supportive stuff, you got to go to Karma. But, you know, that's not what's in this game. We got to look at what's on the paper. And, you know, Pow's getting caught out there was kind of big, but Dobbs could get caught out
here. Yeah, Stormtech, sorry, is looking for it. It's just so fast. What are you going to do? It has the ult and flash as well.
Yeah, I mean, Nari got the hyper proc, then you hit him with the seismic shard, whatever it's called, steal their speed up and just run away at Mach 30 speed. And, you know, the one thing AIE does have for them in strides is wave clear, because you do have Lux, you have Caitlyn who's pretty good at signifying your wave clear. You got Nico who's good at wave clear too, so it's kind of hard for SG to siege, and that's why they haven't taken many turrets in this.
Can they just dive them though?
Exactly, I was gonna say.
I mean, are they at a point where they can just dive with the Zac at the top?
Yeah, because they're not even like pressuring them. They're not forcing them back. They're just letting them walk up and catch the waves whenever they want. They're not looking for Zac to go in and speak too soon. Paz is gonna die here.
Goodbye, Paz. The clone. Did they get it? Nope. The clone didn't stop. Oh, Alf ulted in the mid lane, but I don't know if there's enough damage or like lockdown for Alf here. Yeah, Devil's not able to do anything about that, so they'll force Paz back. Yep. Vesuvius going forward does get rooted up under the turret. Passive gets proc. Turret's gonna knock that down. Not much they can do about that.
TP to him. Alf didn't TP to the Zac.
No.
Okay, so this is a really bad macro play by SG. This comp does not 1-3-1, right? Dobbs isn't gonna win in side lane to knock. Alf got caught out in the mid lane, had to reset. Then Vezu gets caught out in the top wave, trying to go for a dive that they don't have a minion wave for. They only have a cannon. You can't tank turret when Baron proofs up. Just play 4-1. You put Alf in the side lane. You have Dobbs with the. You have threat engage with multiple ultimates, multiple angles. It's just a very bad macro play out of them, and it cost them momentum. So now AIE's gonna have a chance. AIE is gonna have a chance to fight for this Elder because they did not crack a single outer turret on this Baron push, and
that's what Baron play.
Really bad Baron play, and just macro.
We're coin flipping it. 30 minutes. I'm so excited for this fight. This could decide the game either way because the gold's still pretty close, but 4K. Though Dobbs literally is taking negative damage from the Caitlyn, so definitely favoring SG still here. But who knows? Lucky Smite, Stormtech might pull it through.
All you got to do is protect Yomi. Yomi could get caught here, has to flash.
Oh, that is big. Summoner burned, does still have the cleanse. Stormtech did use the ultimate. Kiwi's the jump out is good as well. Stormtech, the engagement goes on. Yep, Dobbs going in, not going to connect onto Yomi though. Stunned up against the wall. The final spark comes through. Yomi down to half health, trying to kite this one out. And it's too little. It's too late. It's an SG team fight again. They cannot be beat in this series. They don't need the Elder. They're going for the end. They don't have the minion waves though, so it's a little awkward, but the death timers might be long enough to end. If not, it could get dicey here.
Yeah, I mean, SG is just so lucky that worked out. They positioned bad at the start of the fight. Yomi had to burn flash early because the tanks are just not standing in front of them. That's all they have to do.
The ultimate's hit, right? Like, that's about as good as they could get outside of Pow's landing the ultimate onto Yami. Kiwi hit his. Kitsune landed the final spark over the top. The damage was there, but just the wallets of SG were just so much bigger. They're respawning. They got 8 seconds. This could get dicey for them. Going in, the hook comes through, charmed up under the turret. They're trying to buy time. Yomi free firing is legendary. Goes for the last turret. Yami trying to go forward. Pow's not able to connect the Pop Blossom. Under 3 members, but not the right member. The charm comes through. Pow gets that one. It's a triple kill. Oh no! It's a kill! Oh, they get it. There's no charge. Just hit it once. Yeah, it's a game.
Oh my god,
Yomi game 2.
Kill in game 2, putting SG on the match point. What a game out of him. A 20 bomb, 24 KP, not dying a single time. My god.
Yeah, that was a good Jix pick. That's for sure. You only get to play that champion once per series. 20-4, 30k damage. That's what you want to see out of what should have been a losing bot lane, right? Like, the level 2 should have gone so heavily in favor of Caitlyn Lux that just Yami on the Jinx just really struggles to get gold, but that didn't happen. The ganks went in favor of SG Proton, and game 1, down 7k, able to bounce back. Game 2 was an absolute massacre, and I'm kind of worried for AIE coming into game 3.
Yeah, I mean, the AIE Cinderella Miracle run might end here. I love these guys. It's great watching them all season, but SG finally shaping up into the team I thought, and a lot of people thought, this team on paper is terrifying, and they are showing it now in the playoffs, looking to make that run, looking to shock the nation and not have a first round exit like my XG Proton team did last season, looking to write the scripts and get this team going in the right direction, and they're going to look to do it in game 3, and I can't wait to see what picks we get in that one.
Yeah, we're going to throw to a quick break, and when we are back, we'll see if we get a game 4 or if it's a clean 3-0 sweep from SG Proton. We'll be right back.
And welcome back, everybody. We are getting ready for game 3 here. We're going to have SG Proton on the blue side and AIE Anguish on the red side. And it looks like so far we're just going to be keeping the bans the same. Aurora Jin being banned out by SG. The Yone still being banned away from Alf here by AIE. Not really too surprised to see that one, but we got a change up in the bans here so far. The Blitzcrank not being banned away yet, but the Poppy being banned away instead. And an early Alawi ban looks like going to be the option here for SG Proton. Still hovering that one, but it would make sense because AIE could just R3 that pick and not let it get banned away in the second phase like it has the last 2 games. But definitely a curious choice here. It's going to see some new stuff picked this game. Obviously we see that every game. It's fearless in this league. And Mumu first pick locked in here for Vezu on the SG Proton side.
Oh,
Really
yeah.
liking this pick. And welcome back, Traxon.
We
What are your
are
thoughts on
back.
this Mumu pick?
You know, I hate playing against the Mumu, so I think it's a really good pickup right now. It does good damage. Obviously, big AoE kind of CC. I think Mumu's a great pick, especially the double bandage toss, but maybe Wukong is the answer here. And my thoughts were with the Poppy ban, I'm going to assume AIE is going to dive.
Yeah, and then that brings me to the question of, does Sunrise play Tarek? Because the best thing to counter dive is that
Whoa.
2.5 seconds of pure invulnerability. It is insane what that champion can do if you can pilot it correctly. I mean, it's not the hardest champ to play, but it's a different champ to play, right? He is not inherently like the strongest early. He scales very well into the game for support, but like he also does have like crazy kill threat with the Bloodstone support item, and you get on top of somebody with your E and your passive just constantly resetting every time you hit somebody. It is insane what that champion can do sometimes and can catch you off guard if you actually play it. But I think we're gonna get a Zyra Rakan lock in here. But the Milio pick is definitely interesting to cleanse away that Amumu ultimate. But if you get on top of Milio, he's just gonna die. So really curious to see how Kasuna is gonna play this game.
I'll see what kind of rounds off that comp.
But Zaya locked in. It's a pretty good AD carry right now. I haven't seen a lot of people talking about it or playing it really. Did get buffed. Okay, I was gonna say I haven't seen a lot of
25.
talk about her.
Yeah, 20 to 25% on the W.
Okay.
And
I think it's also
it wasn't
a good pick
really in a
Wukong.
bad spot, right? Yeah, great for anti-engage. Speaking of engage, Rel.
Rel into Milio is interesting because Milio just knocks you back whenever you try to engage. So it's going to be on Sunrise to get these weird angles that Rel can do. You're going to take Hex Flash, you're going to look for these weird engage angles, and hopefully it works out that way. But Kog'Maw hovered, then unhovered for a second, and then back to the hover. And locked in. So Kog'Maw Milio, we are looking for sentry turret damage out of AIE here. And it's going to come down to Devil's Alter Ego to carry this game, but it's going to be a hard one with the amount of CC already shown on the side of SG.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, that's... I get they picked Emilio to try to help, but that's a lot of engage. Like, once they get on there, it's got to be difficult to try to navigate these team fights.
Yeah, it's literally just going to be a pure position game out of Devil's Alter Ego. He's going to have the hands and the feet to make this one work because Rel, Amumu, even the Zyra route is just going to be help. And you only have 1 Milio ult. He's going to have to take cleanse them.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way around it. I wouldn't even be shocked if Milio also just builds a Michaela's first item. So this Kog'Maw can just do whatever he wants whenever he wants and have that be their way to win this game and push us into 4-5 games. They are looking to do the reverse sweep here. I mean, as somebody who just did that last night, it is harder said than done. It takes a whole team working together, being on the same page to make that reverse sweep happen, because you make one singular mistake and your season is over. So AIE looking to keep this Cinderella run alive and continue in this playoff run, and they're going to try to do that on the back of a Kog'Maw carry.
Yeah, it is a cast ban. They did mention in lobby that the Raft client crashed, so we'll kind of see how they play this out. Oh, looks like it's back. Okay.
I was going to say, this is the classic thing of draft lol. Nobody uses it on, from 12 a.m. to 6 or 7 p.m. Eastern time. And then once 8 p.m. Eastern time hits, every league is playing their games, so draft law servers all crash at the same exact time. I had to use 5 different draft servers last night to
Jeez.
finish my best of 5. It was ridiculous how much that thing kept crashing, but I really do like the Cassiopeia ban. That is like Alf's namesake. Like even on League of Legends, his like status thing says please stop banning Cass because of how much this man plays that champion. So a really good ban by AIE. But his Akali is also something not to be slept on. He loves picking this thing into immobile AP casters, and that's exactly what Victor is. And
Yeah.
Dobbs gonna lock in the Volibear, possibly a champ I haven't seen in top lane much since they
Pretty
nerfed
good.
him at the start of this split. But his build is still insane. You do the Roa into like the Flicker Blade stuff. It is scary if that thing starts to get going, and Dobbs gonna look to maybe win the 1v1 for once instead of Kiwi slapping him around.
I just don't know what you do here at this point. I feel like
Ornn.
I actually really want Poppy.
Ornn.
Galio
Nope,
wouldn't be
Galio,
too bad.
okay.
But like I feel like this would be a really good Poppy game.
It would be. But they banned it away,
They
which
banned it.
is an
Yeah.
option.
Yeah.
But like I love picking Poppy into like Akali or Aurelia and stuff like that. Especially like it just nullifies that champ wholeheartedly, and it becomes very hard for Alf to play the game. But he's kind of gonna have a free time. I'm curious to see if AIE goes for a lane swap and puts the Victor top lane into the Volibear, because Akali doesn't have a fun time against Galio.
Yeah. I feel like looking at this, I am worried for AIE Anguish here. I get like the Wukong Gallia, that makes sense, but it feels like that side of the map doesn't work with the other side of the map. They have great scaling, but again, I'm kind of worried this the Wombo combo SG Proton has and just is going to decimate them in these 5v5s.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it last game with the Wombo combo that SG had, and they just have another set of Wombo combo.
Like it's
just
more
with-
this time.
It's also more kill
Yeah.
threat, not
Yeah.
just Jinx. They have an Akali. She is going to murder this backline if she gets ahead. And, you know, with the series on the line, with your playoff hopes on the line, I just don't know if this AIE draft is going to get it there.
So you thinking it's a 3-0?
I mean, I think it's going to be 3-0. I thought it was going to be a lot closer on paper. I've been loving AIE since I started doing all this stuff, but I mean, the only way they got a chance, Devin's Alter Ego has to 1v5 this game.
Fair enough. Well, you know what? I believe in AIE. They're taking it to a game 4. We're going to throw to a quick break, and when we get back, we'll see if they can indeed take us to a game 4, or if it's going to be a 3-0. I don't think I've casted so far. I don't think I've casted a series where the losing team has taken the game yet. We're hoping to change that in this series, but don't go anywhere. We will be right back. All right, we're back to see if AIE Anguish can force a game 4 or if SG Proton move on in the bracket with a clean 3-0. Again, unfortunately, no level 1 shenanigans. They did War Tire Brush, though, thinking maybe something's going to go down, but everyone just going to the basic 5-point. And taking a look at the bot lane, Kog'Maw running the cleanse. With
Yeah, I was
Emilio
about to
and
say that, and I
Exhaust.
realized
Yep,
my
let's
mic
play
was muted.
super safe. All good.
My mic
Welcome
was
back.
muted when I went to go talk about it. And I was gonna say, like I mentioned in the Champ Select, the draft, Kog'Maw has to go cleanse this game. There's no question about it. If he goes anything else, he's not a walking sentry turret. He's a sitting duck.
I'll just pinged it too.
I'm also I don't like the area on Melio this game. Just go Guardian, right? You just the shield you provide to your Kog'Maw is better on Guardian than it is on Airy, because you can not have that shield up if you get a poke with the Q first, or the Fire Flame passive is got like his passive also can proc the Airy. So it's more poke damage out of it, but like it's the less defensive option. And also if you go Guardian, you're also taking I forget the name of the singular rune that increases healing and shielding power, right? So it's just the safer option to keep the one hope you have, the Kog'Maw, alive. So kind of a harder game for Devil's Alter Ego to play here, with Kasune choosing to go with the Airy option instead of Guardian.
Yeah, not going to be quite as durable in some of these fights.
I mean, yeah, very true. Also, mid lane, Alf going for Electrocute, looking to just burst instead of going for the Fleet Footwork, which you kind of go for the laning power. If you go, I know they nerfed the Fleet Footwork Doran's combo that used to go on Akali, and you would just take the Yellow Tree, you'd go Fleet Footwork, Triumph, all that stuff, and then you would just take Bone Plating and like never lose a singular trade in mid lane. And just literally get to farm everything without too much threat. But choose to go Electrocute, looking for that burst damage that Akali is known for as that assassin. And, could get a little bit punished in the laning phase here, but I don't expect it to mean too much in the grander scheme of things.
Yeah, and, we see early game rating up in top. Alf, trying to trade that health pool for CS, but other than that, bot lane's been pretty passive. I figured they'd be a little more aggro level 2 if they could try to fight for that, but it is, melee and a range support matchup, so a little more difficult to try to push level 2 there.
I mean, and we've seen this all series so far, just Sunra and Yomi just playing super safe in the bot lane, letting Yomi scale up, become that threat in the late game. And Sunrise really playing these melee engaged champions very well, not taking much trading early game. This dude has been on the up and up for a while and just keeps getting better. I know he plays in Emerald and Titan on Wednesdays, so I'm curious to see how his growth continues to be as a player. He's definitely one of the boards I've been eye on for a while. And, the reason is this guy is just that good. He's very good at playing champions and knowing their limitations and everything like that.
Yeah, and I feel like we're going to have a pretty chill early game.
I mean, we've
We
seen
can
it
get-
before.
Yeah, true.
Oh, wait.
Oh, I
No
lied.
chill,
I was
no
in a
chill,
little bit
no
of
chill.
trouble.
Ah,
Just kidding.
no.
Get a dual drive by, walk in lane, say hi, and walk out.
Yeah, and hey, what's new to the series besides a chill early
Oh,
game? Oh
Kiwi,
my god, never mind.
Speaking of not chill, Dobbs looking for the kill. Just
That's
the
it.
taunts, flashes into the taunt, first blood. Dobbs on top for the first time this series in the top lane. I jinxed it. It's not chill. Probably chill bot lane just because of the 2v2, but the rest of the map, we're scrapping.
Yeah, who needs chill when you have Volibear?
Mhm.
Like, at least, hey, finally some excitement before 14 minutes into the game. Dobbs getting that
Mhm.
solo kill, and Kiwi Slap just on the bad end of that trade. Tried to channel the taunt there at the end. It does give some damage reduction, but Dobbs was going to flash into that, and he was going to auto you anyway. Why force him to auto you at that point?
Yeah.
And a big trade in the mid lane. Oh my gosh. Alf doing half of Pow's the health in one combo, but taking half of his own back because, Victor with the Airy trades, pretty strong early. Going to look to stack up his passive as quickly as possible, get that transformation.
Yeah, just push this
And-
in and reset.
Yeah, I mean, but we do see Vezu starting
Who's
to
in
walk
the
towards this
area?
lane.
Yep, Alf wants it. Suvius wants it as well. Does have flash. The flash banish toss will be flashed away. Pause. Stays safe. Trader flashes.
I think
What?
that's worth it for SG.
I agree.
Because once Alf hits level 6, a flashless Victor is just
Oh, it's a dead
easy
Victor.
kill target.
Yeah.
Speaking of dead, is this Galio going to be dead again?
Yeah. TV Slab is not getting the better of some of these trades against Dobbs. Up almost 2 waves though, so that's in a good spot. But as you can kind of see in the bot lane though, Yami up 10 CS over doubles.
Hey, and Kiwi slap up 10 CS over Dobbs despite that solo kill. But yeah, it's looking rough up here in this top lane. Who cares that you're up 10 CS? Dobbs is just winning out on all these trades. Gonna force Kiwi to recall again. And, you know, now SG could play towards either objective. They can get bot lane pushing back once they get back, take Dragon, or, you know, send Rezu up to top lane and get those grubs on the reset. Definitely, you know, having your cake and eating it too if you're SG here. Getting to go for whatever you want. And I'm just... Okay, I didn't expect to see that. Alpha just has a needlessly large rod as his first item, like, on that back. Is he gonna go?
You know what? Go for it. I don't know what's going on with that build, but I'm with it.
How he build is? I'll be honest with y'all.
I don't know what Kiwi Slap's doing. They're
He's gonna
level
build
6s. They're gonna swap lanes.
Oh yeah, no, this is actually a really smart play. Dobbs could actually get ganked here right now, but they're just gonna send Storm Tech to take grubs, hit level 6. And then probably look for something top lane, and also Kiwi Slap in the spot lane. He was losing in top lane. Yeah. Right? There's no super...
Oh, but there's 4 people here. Yeah, the Suvius hits it. The root comes through. Yami gets a kill.
As I was about to say, there's no real threat onto him in this bottom lane.
4 members. There are enough, apparently.
He gets Floodman ganked and dies, and nothing comes in the top lane. Dobbs just gets to push in the wave and walk away. Yeah, really interesting choice there out of AIE. I guess they wanted Kiwi out of the bad lane, but it put him
wasn't
in a
even
worse
losing
lane.
that much though.
Yeah, I think that's a really bad decision, right?
Yeah.
Like, yes, you get grubs, but like, who's effectively using them in this game to break down turrets? It's gonna be Kog'Maw with the rest of the team. It's not like you have the side lane threat that you did last game. Yeah. But now Yomi has a kill. He's up 5 CS, and he's gonna farm 2 plates here. This is looking really bad for AIE, and Alf fighting a clone, and he's giving it to him.
Yeah, they're trying to make a play top side, but Dobbs is just wave clearing.
Oh, Yomi's taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, no one's contesting him.
Oh, Pals. He has no flash.
Yeah, and that's a 1v1 kill. Or, sorry, 2v1, but... first kill for Alpha. Yami taking a lot of damage too. I was preoccupied for half a second there watching the bot lane fight, but...
And this is looking rough already. 8 minutes into the game, SG up 3 kills. They're up the dragon.
Everyone has kills too. Like all their laners have kills. The gold's on everyone that you want to have gold here.
Yomi just getting free CS in the bot lane. Oh man, SG could be so smart here if they wanted to just rotate Yomi and send him top lane to keep bullying onto Kiwi Slap. But curious to see what they choose to do, as Kisumi's looking to chase Yomi down, but nah, Yomi's just gonna get away on this one. But yeah, no, it's so rough seeing this out of AIE. They look really good at the end of the season. It felt like they had some momentum going. SG had been shaky all year, but like I said, this team has just ramped up at the right time and looking like that top 3 team, potentially top 2 team that a lot of people, myself included, thought they were at the start of the season. When I saw this roster, I said, there's no way this team doesn't win BOL. But then, you know, you had the Conduit roster, you have the Dorado roster, so it was like you have the big 3, and like it just didn't seem to click for them. Dobbs taking a big trade, a little trade up in the top lane, but you know, we thought this was what they were going to look like at the start of the year, and really stepping up their game. Finally got the jungle down on lock. Rezu coming in and being a monster for this team really seemed to push them in the right direction. And you know, they could kind of be, you could consider them a dark horse because they're playing in this play-in, but you know, they're not really a dark horse. So really curious to see how high this team can go, as Alpha's just gonna take a big
Alpha's
drop
doing
out.
so much damage here. Yeah, Shuriken doesn't quite land, so Pause walks away. But I mean, whatever this build, needless of larger blood into Sork shoes is putting in work right now in the mid lane.
Yeah, definitely doing way more damage than I would ever expect.
Yeah.
But,
Oh,
you
Double
know-
Alter Ego in trouble. The flash comes through from Sunrise. Double Alter Ego goes down. Vesuvius will pick that one up. Storm Tech running for their life. The feathers go through. The stun comes back. Does dodge that one out. The barrier from Yami pop. Double kill though for the jungler. And we're fighting up in top side. Not going to matter as much because it is tank v tank pretty much. But 2 kills. And we kind of see what they want to do against this Kog'Maw lane. And, wait, was there a 1v1 while that happened as well? I just noticed? Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
just
oh my
killed
God,
Powers
I'll
under
full
turret as
kill.
well. Can we stop fighting at the exact same time and missing things?
Yeah, I mean, what an engage.
Yeah, that's a
out of
1v1
Sunrise.
too.
The engage out of Sunrise there is actually just crazy. Literally just the flash W into ultimate was beautifully played by Sunrise there. And Vezu in the right place, right time. Yes, the Q, the banish toss hits the clone of the Wukong, but still in range to get the ultimate inside Mummy and be able to pick up that second kill on Storm Tech.
Yeah. It is 6-0, sub 12 minutes. It's looking a little dire, to be completely honest with you. Alf going in on a Powers does get stunned up. The ultimate comes through.
Oh my
Yep,
God.
Powered Q gets it. Powers gets that kill, but can Powers get out? The first bandage toss misses. The second bandage toss misses, so Powers able to sidestep those and gets a 1v1 in the mid lane. Alf really not respecting the Victor damage, and they do get one on the board.
Victor's on full item. He has a full Lumen's Companion. He's gonna have insane burst damage, and I'm pretty sure that one upgrade here on his passive, so the E should be upgraded at this point for the double laser proc. But I want to talk about Dobbs' build. He went first item Spirit Visage. I was expecting the Rod of Ages. Yomi's gonna be fine here. I was expecting the Rod of Ages and the Flicker Blade, but Dobbs going with a different build, and I'm curious to see what he chooses to go after this, because I'm in uncharted territory. I don't know this Bear build.
I don't either.
I'm also still curious where Alpha's going with this build. He's got a needlessly large rod, an Aether Wisp, and the glowing moat, I think it's called. A terrible item. So gold
Yeah,
inefficient.
fire ability haste. Yeah,
So gold
Alf?
inefficient. Alpha's
a little caught out
I'm
maybe,
here.
but we'll just walk out.
Oh, no,
Yami's
Yami's
the
in trouble
target
now.
actually instead. There's 4 members here. Alpha and Yami in trouble for us to burn the feathers. The pullback comes through, really pretty much just onto the clone. Meanwhile, Sunray going in, trying to heal. Vesuvius is here, gets a double ultimate. Oh my gosh, the Amumu sped. Galileo coming in, trying to save it, but Vesuvius, the double kill, looking for Storm Tech. Can they get it? Not gonna happen. Actually, Dobbs going forward, then Octobon on to Sunrise, but they're both getting it stunned up. Powell's looking to trade limited damage. Sunrise in a little bit of trouble. Q-Slap moving forward. Dobbs trying to walk the support out. The laser doesn't connect. The knock up, the double taunt. Sunrise under turret does get taunted. Dobbs forced the ultimate under turret. Kiwi taking some turret shots, and they'll walk out, but a little bit of an overextension from SG here.
What are we doing?
That was what, like a 2v4?
They are just throwing this game back into giving AIE any hope here. Like, Alpha was out, and then Yomi runs in, and then gets engaged on, uses his ult. They think they
But
can
you
turn
know
the
who's
flick
not out?
into
Kiwi's
Floyd.
not out. They're looking for him.
Oh,
The flash comes out.
Ooh,
Yep.
okay. But, like,
Far flash.
SG thinking they can turn that 2v4. Alpha goes back and gets instantly deleted. Yomi taking so much damage on the back end there. He was left on TPs in to save the rest of his team. Yes, Vezu is a menace on this Amumu, apparently picking up 2 kills onto the back line. But like, Pows is so strong now. He got so much damage out. He picked up 2 more kills in that fight. Didn't go down. I mean, SG, I don't know.
I mean,
what
that was a
with the
failed
SG
play from
camp
the
there.
start. Yeah, that was a 2v4 failed play from the start. I think you just bail, get your members out, and then you can burn the Mumu ultimate to get the rest of them out, but they went back in without their main damage dealers. I don't know what they were thinking there.
I think Alf was already out in that play, and they just thought they could. I don't know what they thought, honestly. I'm gonna DM these guys later and be like, "What the hell were y'all thinking?"
Oh
there?"
no.
I know their coach is probably in the general chat somewhere mauling over that play. Like, like probably muted himself to curse or something, but like I don't know what just happened there because now AIE has a chance. It may be slim, but it's there now.
And the
that's
goldie
scary
chunk
part.
for sure off the back of that. Yeah. Victor's pretty much the carry right now. Like a lot of gold on this mid lane. Victor 3 kills right now. Playing these fights out pretty well, and they're really just kind of stacking in the CC, and Victor's having a field day with it. Like no one's respecting the gravity field.
Yeah, I mean, we thought Devil's Alter Ego was going to be the carry. It actually might be Pow's because Victor does scale so well and does do an insane amount of damage.
Victor
So-
can wave clear too to get Devil's Alter Ego into a spot where they hit those item spikes.
I think the only issue with the AIE draft, besides like all the eggs in the solo like 2 carry baskets, is they have no side lane. Like
Yeah.
Akali and Volibear are going to eat
Yep.
them in the side lanes, and that's the scary part. But AIE's team fight is there; it is present and it is potent. So but like it's still really hard to do it. Like even a 5v3 play onto a Rel.
Oh, Alf hits it. Frickin' flip comes through. Pow's trying to stay alive. The flash
Oh my
comes
God, the
through.
fail
Pow's. The
flash.
flash from Pow's though. Pow's might get out. The laser comes through.
He gets
Nope. The ultimate dropped as well. Alf picks up the kill up in the 1v1 bot side. Speaking of
right.
side lane,
Yeah, we saw it there. Alf with some really clean mechanics there because he hit the E into the ultimate to go, or the ultimate into E to fly back in with the E, ultimate back out of the gravity field, and
yeah,
then
spicy.
they'll flash into a fat wall to still pick up the kill.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, before we started auto talk tonight, Noble Bark was like, kind of throwing some shade at Alf, going, what is he gonna pick if they just ban Yone and Cassiopeia? And Akali was one of the champions I mentioned, and he was like, but all bronze champs can play 151 champions or whatever the number is up to now. And I was like, no, he actually plays Akali, and he loves pick control mages, and we saw why there. The mechanics were there, even if he fails to flash.
Yeah.
But like we said, like I was saying, in a side lane, this Akali is gonna have a field day onto a Victor. Especially once that turret goes down, he's gonna have nowhere to run to.
It's also a flashless Victor in the side lane now too, so yeah, it's gonna be a lot more difficult to try to get away.
And then, you know, Dobbs just chilling up here in the top
Yeah,
lane.
top lane's just doing top lane things. Alf's looking for the Storm Tech is in the area, but so is Vesuvius. Alf, the flash comes forward, able to find the ultimate on the Storm Tech, but Sunrise here as well. I think Powell should just bail. It's a lost cause. Decides to stick around to see what he can do. Vesuvius getting low. Powell's trying to get the trade, but it is going to be a 2-for-1. Alf will pick up another. So
Yeah.
Vesuvius.
Yeah, I mean, Powers probably should have just left his jungler. It was a lost cause, but he did get a kill in the end.
Yeah.
I guess you can be happy with that one, but Akali is scary. She has she building into a. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Crypt Bloom. I could be wrong. It could just be the Void Staff, but we see they have a Dark Steel in inventory and it's on 3 stacks, and it could be a Medjay's game if he gets to scale it. Because once you hit 10 stacks on the Dark Seal, it's already gold efficient to transform it into the McHale's. But Dobbs is going full tank, has the I don't even know the name of that item because I never build it, but got that one item that does the thing. But I for a second
Venting Despair? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Because I know what Spirit does. The player builds to never die. But for a second, I saw his inventory and I saw a Kindle Gem and a Chain Vest. I was like, is he building a Knight's Vow second item? But no, he's not going Knight's Vow second item. I thought there was some tech cooking that I didn't know about. But, you know, like we said earlier, you know, it is so hard for Victor to play in the side lanes against a Fed Akali, and he has no flash. It's even hard for Devil's Alter Ego to play in this mid lane against the Fed Akali, for being honest, because the gap close on this champion is insane. But they're looking to make a play on the Dobbs here.
Yeah, they're trying to get this turret. Sometimes just going to walk up, drop the Herald on top of Dobbs. Gonna force this turret. Dobbs probably should back up here. It's gonna be a 2v1 if he stays, and they will knock that turret out. What I was gonna say though, looks like we're actually about to scrap down here potentially. Okay, we're good.
I mean, this should
They're
just be a free dragon.
Pretty even in gold still, all things
Yeah.
considered.
And at this point, it should just be a free dragon for
Mhm.
SG. They should just be on soul point. It's 20 seconds until it
Yeah.
spawns, and Storm Tech just took a Gromp topside instead of running right down.
I don't know the items for it either.
I don't like SG's positioning here. They have too many people in the mid lane. You just send
Mhm.
Yomi there, wave clear it, and
Yeah.
it's random. Never mind.
Oh, they're looking for it though. Pow's caught off. Ultimate comes through. Pow's is dead before the fight really even starts. Vesuvius gets the move onto him. TV slap. It's so tanky and forced to flash out. Yami doing a little bit of damage to the backside. No one else dies actually there. TV slap buying so much space with the taunt actually.
Also, his
Oh no,
ultimate-
they walk back in. They feed check it. The fight just occurred. What happened? Why are we doing this again?
Also,
Okay.
that Galio ultimate, giving increased resistance to
Mhm.
the target. So Pow's lived a lot longer than they were
Yeah.
expecting to, and it almost turned south. Like, Devil's alter ego was untouched that whole entire time. If he maybe had, like, one more item, like he was on that Coin's Rage Blade, that is just a lost fight for
Mhm.
SG. So, very, very close. And, like, look at this gold lead. It is not
It's
even
pretty
1,000
close.
gold
It's
anymore. It is
crazy, yeah.
800 gold. Like,
They haven't taken any
this-
turrets.
this game can go either
Mhm.
way still at this point, which is crazy to think about with how vet Vezu is
Alpha
and how
5?
dangerous Alpha is on the side. Wait,
Yeah.
Alpha's actually down gold.
Yeah.
Alpha's actually 1,000+ gold behind.
Yeah, well, 20 CS up, I guess, just up turret gold.
Yeah, it's turret gold at this
Mhm.
point.
They
Like,
need to start knocking them down. They're winning the side lanes, but they're losing the overall turret objective control, which is unique. They're about to lose mid lane too.
yeah, I mean, this is also kind of the issue with SG's is they
Mhm.
have 0 range.
Yeah.
Also, their wave clear is really, really bad.
Not good. Yep, it is not good.
It is really bad. While on the side of AIE, they have
Mhm.
Victor. He's basically like a new age Anivia. And if anybody knows about Anivia or Froggen 50 game Anivia stallouts, just clearing waves with that ultimate, like it is so hard for SG to do anything. Like it's kind of has to be what they did in game 2 was like win a fight, take a Baron, and then use that to break the map open.
Yeah.
Because it is so hard for them to siege into this comp of AIE. Because even Kog'Maw clears minions super well, and at a ridiculous range with his W
Mhm.
and Milio W, increasing his range even more on top of his increased W range because it's a multiplicative
Yeah.
increase on his W, which means you increase your range with the multiplicative of Kog'Maw W. It is just insane.
Mhm.
He's basically a turret.
Yeah, they really can't walk up. Oh,
Oh,
they're
no.
going for it though. The cleanse was like a half second early, but they do get out.
I thought he was gonna die there.
I thought he was gonna die there too, but the flash
Oh,
is
yeah.
out. Kitsune keeps.
I mean, he's just
Double
dead next
save.
to you fight. No, he has no cleanse.
Yeah.
No ult. He should
No
just be dead
yeah.
next to you fight regardless of like
Yes.
Milio ult or not. And that's the power of Amumu. He has 2 CC abilities on a basic ability. We love Riot.
Such a
choosing
short
that
cooldown
champion.
too. Oh my gosh, it's awful. Yeah, I hate playing against it.
And like, Amumu's just so good because of that soul fact. If he just had a singular bandage toss, I feel like this champion would be so
Yeah.
bad. But because he has double CCs
Mhm.
on a singular ability, is ridiculous. Oh, Devil.
Speaking of people dying, oh actually,
Oh wait, never mind.
people
Dobbs is dead.
buying a lot of space
Wait,
with that taunt.
wait. Sunrise behind them.
Yeah.
When did he get there?
Okay, Dobbs trying to go forward. Sunrise looking for the flank, though. Storm Tech a little too early.
Oh my god.
Ultimate comes through from Wukong. Vesuvius looking for the backline, not even really find it. Doesn't have the ultimate. They're fighting without the ultimates. Vesuvius does flash out, but Sunrise dies. They're gonna get the mid lane turret. They're fighting without these big ultimates up because they burn them.
Storm Tech won that fight actually
Oh,
for
yeah.
his team. Sunrise had the angle to get onto Pow's and Devil's Alter Ego with the W and ultimate, but the timing on the Storm Tech ultimate knocked up Sunrise to keep him in place, and they're gonna rush Baron
This
here.
is still really risky because if they want to check this, Vesuvius now has ultimate, right? They're walking up Baron down to half health. They're looking to face check from the top side. Kitsune not able to stop anyone. Vesuvius going over the wall. Bandage Toss comes
Oh
through.
my God.
It's going to be a massive ultimate. They didn't really connect it. They didn't pull the trigger fast enough, but it's on the backside. Devil's Alter Ego in a 1v1, 2v2 now. I'll force the flash away. Kiwi Slap's gonna go down. A double kill. Yami fighting against Paus, though, will die. 2 members down. Kiwi Slap, Dobbs looking for him. Alf is there as well. The flash comes through, but Dobbs is all by himself. The exhaust comes through. Has to run now. Alf in the backside. Sunray has come back. Alf picks that kill up, gets taunted. Will find another one. Doesn't quite connect it, but will get it eventually. Kitsune running, and it is an ace. And a really good Baron defend and take. They did grab Baron in that fight,
is
too.
two
I
Baron
got to
steals.
mention that. Yeah.
That is 2 Baron steals this series. Vezu with another one, and it's on the same map. It's on Hextech. He did the same way he Hextech over to steal it.
No wards up there. Yeah.
Before that fight started, I was going to say Kasune's positioning there was so bad. He was trying to space out the enemy team as Milio. You're going to die, dude. Just stay on your team, give him the W to give it a healthier Baron clear. And also, if you just give W to that Kog'Maw, he's going to shred it even more because, you know, that's what Kog'Maw does. He shreds stuff. But, like, they took so much damage from that Baron just because Kasune was, you know, trying to space out. And it's just going to go Hex Tech Soul, yeah.
Amumu has ultimate up. They're going to want to fight for this potentially. Like, we're back to round 2. They're looking for Paus. Paus forced the flash. The ultimate comes through. Yep. Alf is godlike. Your carry has already died. It's all falling apart. The hopes and dreams for AIE Anguish are crumbling on the back of that Baron play. Paus trying desperately to run away from Vesuvius. It's not going to matter, though. Might actually get the kill here with the laser. Burning down. I don't think he dies. Does have to force flash for it. But the Baron empowered minions in the mid lane. 3 members strong. The 80 carry is there. My game just froze.
Yeah, you froze on our end too, but
oh no.
Dobbs and Alf got that flank onto Devil's Alter Ego, and it was just over before it even started. Like, the burst damage that came out of Alf there with the Lich Bane, with the Void Staff, with a needlessly large rod, a 10-stacked Dark Seal, like, he deleted the Kog'Maw off the map there, which just went into a massive chain of victory for SG, and they didn't even take the dragon. They could just fight again at Soul Point if they still wanted to. But
yeah, so
we're gonna
actually know how to fix
it because we got a ridiculous pause at exactly 27 minutes in a game 3 match point. I wonder if we have a fix if we're talking about one, but I will yap
for anything in chat.
Don't tell me we got the freeze bug. Okay, I hope we didn't get that, Caddy. That would be the worst thing to get for a playoff series. But you know, the just the flank out of the solo laner for SG Proton, and also Vezu just basically 1v1 Kisuna. I mean, Pow's only living there was Pow's because of the passive shield on the Q from Victor. But just so well played out of the SG solo lane. It's like Yomi doesn't have to do anything this game. The dude's 228 in love and life.
Yeah, he's
just
chilling
last game. He's just chilling because he's like, hey, I put in all the work last game. You guys got to do it this game. And Alf is stepping up to the plate on the Sakali, and it's so easy to do that with 2 mobile carries out of AIE. The only way you really get stopped is like a Wukong or Galio sitting on top of him, but it's you can't do that because then you have no way to even start a fight at that point. So just really well played so far out of the SG Proton team comp, and just executing it beautifully so far.
Yeah, and 6k gold at this point. They do have Hextech Soul with the Baron. 3 members down, so they at least get an inhibitor off this. I don't think they're gonna push for too much more since Stormtech and Powers are up, but are we back? Or no?
We're back. We're back. It looks
Why
like.
am I not back? Why are you back? Okay, well, I'm tabbing in. We're watching this one for now.
All right, we are back. Soul Point went over to SG Proton. We're about 29 minutes into the game now. They're on Soul Point. In the meantime, Yomi picked up a kill onto somebody. Not sure who. It was on the Kiwi Slap. Kiwi Slap did go down there. But Hextech Soul onto this comp of SG, that is terrifying to deal with because just the slow that you get from that thing, old school static shiv there, is just so strong for the side laners, even for the Xayah with her feathers. Just very, very good soul for this game. and it's we kind of see the writing on the wall here. You know, it's in SG's hand to lose now, and AIE's hands to make a comeback happen here.
Yeah. And just what has been such a crazy series, honestly. Like, it looked like AIE weathered the storm, survived long enough, and the team fights were working for them, but then just, again, I feel like game 1 and game 3 were pretty much determined by, like, poor Baron decisions from AIE, and SG just, all they had to do is really reply to it, and the game's over.
Yeah, Vezu probably my MVP of this series with double Baron steals to give SG what they need to win this game. Because game 1 was lost if he doesn't steal that
Yeah,
Baron.
game 1 was lost. Game 2 wasn't
three-
looking great. Or game 3, yeah, you're right.
3, they probably could still win, but the Baron steal is what let them break open this map like I was talking about before. Like, we see they broke mid inhib, they are down, bot turret almost dead, top turret still fully healthy because they didn't focus it, but like, it just opens up the map so much and allows Alf Sakali to just run around in Fog of War and look for these crazy pick plays with the amount of damage that he has. And, you know, chooses to go safer, builds the Zonias, doesn't go for a death cap or a Majai Soul Steal, doesn't get the death note, playing it safe. You know, he's going to dive into the back line, do his whole rotation combo, and we're getting a second Baron.
Yep.
AIE
down to about half health here. Thumbtack walking forward, center on the flank. They're going to go on to the support actually a little bit here, but a massive Amumu ultimate. Kiwi trying to buy time, but it's too little. It's too late going forward. Dobbs is so tanky right now, ripping through the members. They will get the Amumu, but at what cost? Everyone's looking for Devil's Alter Ego, running the wrong direction. Kitsune gets the exhaust onto Alf. The flash forward comes through from the Zaya. Devils actually will be able to back, but it doesn't matter. It's 4 kills. It's playoff hopes for AIE in shambles right now. They're looking to end. They have the super minions walking down the mid lane right now onto the first Nexus turret in just a second here. They're going to start hitting it. I don't think Devil's Alter Ego can do anything. Doesn't have any sums. Has to play so far back, trying to get damage on a Dobbs, but Alpha's looking to stop Devils here. The inhibitor, I think, just respawned, actually. So look at the kill. We'll walk back to kill the inhibitor, but just instantly nuke him. Devils goes down. Pauses back up. They're actually...
anymore.
It's a split decision right now. Forcing to pop the Zaya ultimate. Yep, Yami trying to run here. Stormtech looking to try to force the issue. Walking down the clone comes through. Dobbs trying to buy space, though. And they will walk out 4 members. No one dies for it, but the inhibitor actually keeps AIE in this series.
Also, that Vesuvius engage was insane.
Yeah,
got on top of every single target that he wanted to. Got the ultimate. Oh my god. Literally, picture perfect. You couldn't ask for anything more at this point. You're a Mumu. Who cares if you die again? Like, you got out all your CC. You got more spells and ultimates you wanted out of the enemy team. And Sunrai able to follow it up beautifully. Devil's Alter Ego barely got out in that fight. They were looking for him, but him being alive maybe saved the game. I think it was the inhibitor respawning that actually saved the game for AIE, because we saw Alf delete him when it came to it. But we're gonna have, I think, one more fight in this game because Elder is spawning in 50
We're flipping it on Elder again.
I love
Game
Platinum
1 and
League of
Game
Legends.
3.
Flip on an objective we don't have to take.
They're trying to set up some vision, though. 5 members here walking forward. Dobbs looking to make a little bit of a retreat. Kiwi on the flank. Dobbs marking the flanker right now. Sunray looking for the engage onto Kiwi. The top comes through. A little bit of damage comes out as well. The Wukong onto the backside. Yami trying to fight backwards, but a massive engage from the well. The follow from the Amumu. On top, here comes the Volibear. Dunking on people right now. They're running away. The ADC's dead. The rest of them are sure to follow the junglers down as well. The top lane is dead. Kasuni running away from Alpha. Alf's gonna just absolutely delete them. The teleport comes through. Yep, a double kill for Alf. 14-2-5 on the Akali. And that will be all she wrote for AIE Anguish in this season of BOL Platinum as the last kill comes through. Fitting that it is a hook again, Misdubious. An ace. And that is the game, 31-10, in what was a very close start, a bad Baron flip, and SG all the way from there, taking the win in the game.
Yeah, I mean, AIE really just trying to force it there at the end, trying to get onto Yomi, which it did not matter. Yomi, with
Mhm.
everything up, were able to kite back and get out of there and live, and then just pure domination at SG at the end there with those 2 engages at both major objectives, not even needing to take one in the end, just playing it well to not wait for it to spawn, but to bait them in and force the play to happen. And you know, SG looking scary and scary as the weeks go on. And shout out to AIE. Loved watching this team play. Loved to see the growth that they got. And sadly, it ends going down 0-3 to SG. But be proud that you guys made it this far when everybody had written you out at the start of the season. You guys played a hell of a season. We were happy to have you here.
Yeah, so they will be moving on. SG Proton, I don't know. Let's take a look.
I believe
At
they
the
played
bracket.
Dorado. I believe they played Dorado.
Yeah,
In the
that's a
next
tough
round.
one. That's a good team. So we'll see if the growth from SG over the past couple weeks will be enough. Yeah, they will move on to face Dorado.
Yeah, I was gonna say if we can stream SG again next week, I would, because that should be
We'll
a
see.
spicy series.
Yeah.
But it's definitely an uphill battle for SG Proton. They're going against, you can debate the best team in the whole league in Dorado Gaming, but I think they can match up well into them. I think Sunrai, being a former Dorado player, has some tech against these guys, can maybe give the team the edge that way, or maybe he's actually a Dorado double agent and he's here to ruin the season for SG Proton. Who knows? But it's definitely going to be interesting the way it goes. They played well tonight out of SG. Everybody doing what they needed to. Kind of almost made it a 4-game series the way they played game 1, and how AIE had such a lead, but ended up coming back to bite them in the end with that Baron steal. But definitely great. Traxon, who would you, if you had to give somebody an MVP for the series, who would you give it to?
Well, I think if I were to give it to someone, I'd probably give it to the player who pretty much won them the game in game 1 and game 3 with those Baron steals. Those were 2 defining plays that pretty much set up SG Proton for success in games that they were either losing or were really close in after a bad team fight. So definitely, yeah, shout out to Vesuvius.
I agree. I would have to give it to Vesuvius. Yes, he only got that pentakill in game 1. Yes, he dropped a 20 bomb, but Vesuvius literally won them the games in 1 and game 3. 1 with the Baron steal, 3 with those double engages. I mean, this man, I said he was a one trick. I lied. Apparently, he can play 3 champions, and that's all they need to get the win here tonight.
Yeah, massive comeback in game 1, a convincing win in game 2, and then just really good team fighting in game 3. We'll give SG the clean 3-0. Maybe I'm cursed, I don't know, but we have yet to have a team that we've streamed lose take a game in any of these series that I've streamed. So I apologize if I stream you guys next week, whoever it may be, because we're looking like some sweeps so far this year.
Yeah, I mean, overall, was happy to cast the series and happy to be alongside you, Traxon.
Great games,
but
yeah.
I think that will end us here for tonight on the BOL Platinum Cast. Stick around for tomorrow night. We will have Otter Talk, and we will also be casting Gold and Platinum, and also Road to Pro on Channel 1. I believe Channel 2, we're going to have the Diamond League, and Channel 3 will have Gold. So a lot of BOL content coming to everybody tomorrow night. I want to thank Traxon for casting with me, the teams for playing, and Caddy for producing. And for us here at BOL, we will see you all next week.
Have a good night.